Hello, hello, hello. I am live. There it went. Fuck. Hello. As y'all probably know, I do a lot of testing. I'm pretty much, I think I'm always testing. But yeah, I'm always testing things, see if they work and stuff like that. So I had something to test here and I just tested it and it just failed. Uh-oh. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? Okay, so I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about this stream. I've got a lot going on in my head. And they're all over the place. You know, like for a couple of weeks now I've been trying to do a stream about personal responsibility, but I didn't quite put the information together for many weeks, and I was like, I'm going to put this together, and I had very specific situations that got me to. Why is this not working? Be Survivor, how are you? Thanks for being here. So Brown Bear Jamboree, hi Joe, great to see you. Thank you, Brown Bear. It's good to see you too. Like I said, I'm not really sure what I'm going to stream about. There's very specific events in my life, in the last 24 hours and also, in the last several weeks and stuff that, I'm trying to piece some things together. Now, the personal responsibility, I'm good, Joe. Thanks. Well, that's cool, Survivor. And then, so B Survivor says, I'm good, Joe. Thanks. And then Brown Bear Jamboree says, hi, B Survivor. So nice to see you. Yeah, B is a rock star, of course. She's really great. I really appreciate her. Yeah, the personal responsibility, I think it originally started stemming from, and I don't, like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to get into B Survivor. Hi, Brown Bear. And B Survivor says, good to see you too. GTSY2. So yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to get into these topics, but because, I usually get into trouble and whatever. I don't know what getting into trouble means. One of my, my brain gets triggered on topics all the time. And because I'm talking about something or someone asks a question or whatever, it triggers something. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense in my mind. And then I start talking about it and it may not necessarily connect for everybody else like it does for me. But anyway, so I won't go to that tangent that it, I thought they were connected, but they're not. So anyway, the personal responsibility originally came from, which as always, B Survivor and others, we can always start getting back into panels. I know everybody has their own deal, and sometimes people like to come up, and some people don't. And, whatever, and so it would, it'd be kind of cool to get back into those things. And I'm not saying that every single one of my streams would benefit to have a panel, but I don't think it would ever hurt. Especially for me, I'm like, I certainly didn't need to go live tonight. I certainly didn't. This is going to be a really busy week in motorsports. And I think I think at least for the time being, at least for the next indefinite time period, weeks, months, whatever, it seems like I'm going to be really focused on motorsports, really focused on Formula One, NASCAR, and then IndyCar starts this weekend. And it's in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I almost always go to that race every single year. You know, I know people have heard that I originally, when I got involved with motorsports, I was trying to get booths. I don't know how to say that word, but BOOTH plural S's, booths, to build awareness for invisible disabilities, and that didn't always work. Anyway, St. Petersburg, which is beautiful, by the way, and it's right downtown, and it was the coolest thing in the world. They offered me a booth, you know, so I mean, there's only like, I don't know, 10 or 12 or 15 different situations or tracks or circuits, whatever, that offered me a booth, and they're one of them. So I always feel real attached to go to them. So anyway, if I had to prioritize the races this weekend, I think Formula One indefinitely will always be number one. And I know that probably won't sit well with, you know, a lot of my fans are American or not international, not European, and don't quite get or understand Formula One, and they'd be more into NASCAR. And I'm going to focus a ton on NASCAR, and there's way more races in NASCAR. But I'm sorry to say, if I pick the number two, it would be IndyCar, at least for this weekend, because I've you know, St. Petersburg has given me a booth, and it was, you know, again, all the situations are incredibly intense and overwhelming, and you know, I go with $0 and I think I can get all these things done and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to take a drink here. So I certainly didn't need to go live tonight. There's a couple of things that have happened to me recently, and I probably won't get into too many details, but I don't avoid conversations. So what is Formula One? I'm a newbie. Well, Brown Bear, I'm glad you asked. I can talk for 4 hours about Formula One. No, I assume you know NASCAR, and NASCAR generally means a lot of things. You know, it generally means motorsports and racing and Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, and you know, but it really is just a sanctioning body. NASCAR Incorporated is a sanctioning body, so they have a lot of series. So this weekend in Las Vegas, they're going to have 3 series racing: NASCAR Cup Series, NASCAR Xfinity Series, and NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and that's their top 3 series. But NASCAR has hundreds of series, but that's 3 of them. So on the international scene, like the world's most famous and the world's most richest motorsport series is Formula One. And that's just the name of it, Formula One. I don't know where the name came from. I think formula is something to do with the cars many years ago, that they were a formula car, I think. But I don't know anything about that. And Formula One is the top series. So there's 3 series there: Formula One, Formula Two, Formula Three, but also Formula has, you know, dozens, if not probably 100 different series. So there's a ton of series. So Formula One is the top series of the world's most famous and the world's most richest and the world's most everything motorsport series. So those drivers that you may or may not know, I'm not a betting man and I don't have any money, but about a week ago, I was betting B Survivor that, you know, $1 billion. I was betting her that she would know the most famous Formula One driver. And she was like, nope. And she, you know, she Googled the guy and she's like, I see him now, but I've never seen him before. And I'm like, come on, he's got, you know, $300 million worth of contracts for, like, he makes like $20 million, or, you know, whatever. He makes $34 million, I think, to drive the car, but then he makes $200 million on commercials. So, anyway, for Formula One, the more famous drivers that you may or may not know for past and present, For past drivers, there's shit, I'm not really good at those, but Michael Schumacher is one of the more famous ones. Sebastian Vettel is another one. And this one I was just talking about, Lewis Hamilton. And he's African American, and he has braids, and he has tattoos, and he has nose rings. And, you know, most drivers are, you know, 5'4" or 5'6". And yeah, it's a ton of money. And that's why I was betting B Survivor. I was like, there's commercials everywhere. And she, you know, she had an ace in her pocket. She was like, I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. And, you know, I'm of the you know, I was babysat with the television. So, you know, I thought everybody watches TV. So there's a ton of commercials that he does. You know, he's a spokesperson, and he's pro LGBT, and I'm sorry, Q. I don't know all the initials, but he's really pro everything. You know, he's a pretty cool guy. Nope, never seen. I don't believe you. No, I believe you. So anyway, anyway, there, yeah, and now, you know, probably as the I could probably get a car. Let me see here. I'm off screen. Let me come back on screen. So I'm on screen, but I have a few tabs that I was going to share tonight, possibly. And one is about the Formula One race this weekend. It's in Bahrain, which is a country, I do believe. And the city is Sakhir, Sakhir. That is usually not in Google Maps, but other things are, like Sakhir airfield, something. Anyway, it's not easy to find usually. So why is this not working? Can people tell me why this is not working? So I don't want to listen to that. That's going to get me pissed off. But so anyway, I've got an earbud in my ear. NASCAR, which is kind of for America, for the United States of America, not, you know, not North America, but for USA. NASCAR is like the standard, or we think that's the most famous and that's the richest and whatever. But NASCAR has millionaires and some billionaires, but Formula One only has billionaires. It's the only way to survive. And they still don't. You know, you must have sponsors or you will lose money. The standard joke in NASCAR is, how do you make a small fortune in NASCAR? How do you make a small fortune in NASCAR? And the answer is start with a large fortune. So that's the way motorsports is. You lose money. You got to have sponsors. So anyway, NASCAR is the standard. They have 36 points races a year. That's a real race. If the drivers can earn points, it's a real race. So there's 36 real races, and then 4, you know, whatever it's called, you know, they, you know, basketball, they put on the red shirts, and it's a fake game. I can't scrimmage, you know, so there's kind of 4 races that are scrimmages. They're not real races. No points are awarded. So, but that's still 40 weekends. And it all happens within 41 weeks. So they have 1 week off, I believe. Maybe 2, but I think they have only 1 week off. Formula One's different. The last couple of years, they keep adding one more race. So recently, they had 21 races a year. And then they brought it up to 22. And COVID, they lost it. And it went back to 21. And then they did 23. And because of COVID, it went back to 22. And then this year, they went to 24. And because of, I guess it is COVID. Yeah, China, it went back to 23. But that is now for 2023, they have 23 races, which, you know, we hope all of them will happen. That hasn't been true the last 3 years because of COVID. If they lose a race, they usually add a race. So they'll probably have 23 laps. But anyway, so I did 3 streams last week about pre-season testing for Formula One. This coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, is the first official race. It's in Bahrain. It's at Bahrain International Circuit. They have 3 practices, a qualification, and a race. So anyway, I guess that kind of, I don't know. Do you know any? I probably should have asked if you know any motorsports. Like if you know any NASCAR or IndyCar or IMSA or NHRA. Those are the those lift off the ground and stuff. And so anyway, so that kind of explains Formula One. IndyCar, and I have that schedule. Anyway, so what I was meaning with the personal responsibility, and again, I probably won't get too in depth with it because then I'll start name calling and all that kind of stuff, and I probably need to get away from that. But I mean, anyway, I'm a addict, alcoholic, and no, I just watch when my husband has it on, so I don't know much. So he watches some motorsports. Is that NASCAR? Oh, you probably don't know what it is. But if he's American and, he's in the South, or, it probably is NASCAR that he's watching. But I don't know. It can be IndyCar. It can be any of those. But anyway, Formula One is, there's, like I said, there's 23 races, but there's only one per country. And it's mostly Europe. So half of the races are 5 hours ahead or 6 hours ahead or something like that. But it's also, who all wins money in a race? Only first place? No, every place. Well, Formula One's a little different. There's 10 teams and each team has 2 drivers. So that's 20 drivers in each race. And the first 10 out of 20 positions win points. I don't know about money, but I assume the first 10 win money. In NASCAR, and I knew everything about NASCAR 5, 7, 9 years ago. I probably don't know everything about currently because they changed a lot of rules and stuff. But 5, 7 years ago, there would be 40 drivers in the race. And every single person made money. Actually, when I first started, and, I'm saying NASCAR isn't the hugest, but it was still pretty good. So anyway, when I first started watching NASCAR, like in 2009, 2010, 2011, and then I got really involved, then. But, and there's exceptions to everything I say, but there's roughly 40 drivers in the race. 40. Let's just say there's 40 drivers in the race. And there's 36 races. So back then, back in 2012, 2011, if you were, if you started, it doesn't matter what you started, but if you started last place, if you started 40th in the race and then you finished 40th. So if you were last place every single race for 36 races, if you were last place, if you were the driver that placed last, every single race, you made over $1 million. So that's sad. That's sick. That's pathetic. I mean, that's pretty sad. That's really sad, I think. Now I don't know if it's necessarily good to do like Formula One, that only the top 10 score points, and so that 11th through 20th get 0 points. So they're all the same. If you're 11th or 20th, you're the exact same. I kind of like that everybody gets ranked. So I think it would be great if everybody scored points or made money, so that you would know that they were 11th or 20th. But anyway, that's the way, Formula One's been around they've all been around. I'll take $1 million for last place. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, NASCAR Incorporated, they had a private corporation, NASCAR Incorporated, and they had a public corporation, ISC, International Sports Corporation, and they were roughly the same thing of the France family. The France family were one of the main people that started NASCAR. So one's private and one's public. So they're about the same people, but the public was a little bigger. Anyway, when it was public, they had to divulge all the information. Well, they dissolved ISC, and NASCAR Incorporated, the private corporation, bought everything. So now they don't tell us anything. because it's all private. So, but generally about 5 or 7, I'm sorry, I'm bad at dates and stuff, but 5 or 7 years ago, everybody took a cut and pay. There's this one driver, Carl Edwards, who I loved, and he was from the Midwest, and I loved him. And he left the sport about 5 or 7 years ago. Can you tell that I don't remember dates because I keep grouping them all in the same time frame? But it really is about 5 or 7 years ago, and he left. And he was at the top of the game. Anyway, he was going to get the largest contract ever for a driver, and he walked away from it. He was married. He had children. His wife was a doctor. They understood concussions. And he said, I'm a father. I am not going to hurt myself. I'm leaving. So anyway, ever since then, they started getting price cuts. So the last 2 or 3 or 4 years, when their contract runs out and it gets renewed, they go from $12 million a year to $4 million a year. So it's like, wow, you're doing the same, you're getting better, you're getting more talented, but you're losing a lot of money. So it was, it was just, it grew too much. So yeah, last place, make $1 million. Can you fucking believe that? And that was last place. So if you get 30th out of 40 or 32nd out of 40, you'd be making, $1.8 million, so it'd be like, what the F is wrong with this sport? And, I guess these days, although, I don't know a bunch, Brown Bear, same here to be Survivor. You bet. Yeah. $1 million. Must be nice, Brown Bear. Yeah, for sure. Now, I don't know a bunch about sports, but generally it seems like everybody's making more money. Basketball went from, $4 million a year to $12 million a year to $47 million a year to, and I think football did that and baseball did that. So I think all of those grew. I don't know for sure, but I think they did. NASCAR got too big and it imploded or whatever. And that's why they had to come back down. So, yeah, such high wages in all professional sports. It's crazy. When they started offering one player, and I don't know, when they're making $4 million a year, I was like, that's absurd. There's, whatever it is, 17 football games or 16, whatever it is. And I would never do football. I would never do it. I'd never do the concussions. But it's like they're making $1 million a game. How could they be worth that? Do they sell that many tickets? How can they be worth it? So, but anyway, that was, $4 million. And then it became 12. And then, LeBron James or, whoever was making $134 million over 10 years. And I'm like, that just doesn't even make sense. So, anyway, that's not what I'm here about. It's all jealousy. Of course, I'd love to have $1 million and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to drink it here. I'm a little dry. So, this week is going to be very busy for motorsports. Sheesh. Yeah, amen. No kidding. Sheesh. So, and I have very loyal viewers that watch me all the time. And this week is going to be, it's going to be crazy. There's no way. And I hate that word. I don't like using that word, but it's going to be hectic and busy. So I don't expect anybody to show up to every one of the streams. There's a bunch. There's going to be a bunch, and I haven't scheduled them yet, but I looked at the schedule last night and I tried to, I'm trying to get more and more prepared for the week before it's, I'm trying to get more. Anyway, whatever. Sometimes I get better. Sometimes I don't get as good, but, I will probably have 10 or more streams just for motorsports this week. So, we all have lives. There's no way everybody can go to that. But anyway, it's going to be, today is Monday. So Thursday morning, Friday morning, and Saturday morning. So 4 days ago, 3 days ago, and 2 days ago, there was a preseason testing for Formula One. And so the first day was Thursday morning. And you know, it's over in Bahrain. So for Eastern Standard Time, where I am, it was from 2 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. roughly, you know, so 2 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. really early. And, you know, some of my viewers were there, which I really appreciate it. But, you know, we all have different, you know, sleeping patterns and stuff. But anyway, the first stream on Thursday, I showed some of the testing, some of the practice. And I didn't mean to do anything malicious, but I got in trouble. And I streamed to 6 streams. And tonight I tried to stream to 7 streams. And it didn't work. When I started this stream tonight, I was like, oh, I'm always testing. I just tested something. It doesn't seem to have worked. So I can probably guess why it didn't work, but I don't know. I mean, I have to learn what works and what doesn't. So I normally stream to 6 streams. Since Thursday, one of them shut down. Twitter shut down, and I couldn't have it. I finally did Twitter last night as a Band-Aid. I worked around the problem, and I did do a Twitter last night, so I was doing 6. But so anyway, tonight I tried to do 7 streams, and I can kind of guess why one didn't work, but I wish it was the other one. I wish the one that worked, I wish didn't work, and the one that didn't work, I wish did work. But anyway, you know, I'm sure they have I'm sure it's you know, zeros and ones. I'm sure the computer, I don't know if they randomly grab these streams, but they probably grabbed one and processed it, and then grabbed another one and processed it. And so when they finally hit the one, they couldn't have another one. So I wish they grabbed. Anyway, I don't know what happened. So anyway, I'm not sure why I'm talking about Twitter and streams, but I'm sure it was very important. Very important. As someone I've quoted before, and I'm going to butcher the quote, but I think the quote is, everything is important. And I'm sure that's just an inside joke, but that was very nice when not a joke, you know, I get intense and I want to test things and I want to do this. I want to do that. So anyway, I'm getting off. What is the topic anyway? So, okay. So, personal responsibility for me, or where it came. Anyway, I'm an alcoholic addict. I went to treatment. It was a 28-day inpatient program. It was invaluable. They taught me tons of things. Nothing in my brain is original. I don't want to say I was brainwashed, but I had a lot of messed up thinking in my head. And it was, I won't say reprogrammed, but I learned a lot. Everything in my head is not original. I think, you know, if I could get on my soapbox forever, instead of saying just for a minute, but if I could get everything is important, there's Be Survivor, everything's important. Absolutely. Why did the second Twitter not work? I don't know why. And why didn't they switch? But anyway, I am on a Twitter. So anyway, so what, anyway, my soapbox that I'd get on top of is, and I think, the stats are whatever, the 10% of any population, the world, the United States, your classroom, whatever, 10% of all populations are addicts are alcoholics, addicts. And I think the number is much higher, but there's enough out there, so but my opinion, and it's only mine, but I think every single human being in the world can greatly benefit from several things. And I guess I would prioritize them. The top thing that everybody can benefit from is the 12 steps and 12 traditions, which is one of the aspects of Alcoholics Anonymous that teaches you a lot of things. Again, everybody. You don't have to be an alcoholic, don't have to be an addict, don't have to be Al-Anon. You don't have to. I think it would benefit everybody. And and then really close second is, I think everybody would benefit by reading the big book, and even that the 12 steps are in there, so you can apply it to your life, or Yeah, I think it's higher than 10%. I think it's way higher. But, I went to treatment 35 years ago and they were just, starting to do research and, whatever. Yeah, I think it's way higher. Yes, I agree. Plus, what's addictions? Alcohol is legal. So people don't even, I say, I've been, I forget how I quote it. I've been, I've been free from alcohol and other drugs. I call alcohol a drug. I think it's the worst drug, of course, but for everybody, it destroys families and it destroys so many things. So but it's legal and some dumbass some dumbass parents think it's cute to give their babies, beer and a sippy cup and it's amazing how they do that. So yes, the 12 steps teach you how to live life. It would benefit anyone. Yeah, thank you, Brown Bear. I agree. I think it anybody. And I know when I say that, people are like, you're trying to get me and think I'm an alcoholic. And I'm like, I swear I'm not. I think every human being would. So anyway, number 2 is reading the big book. And then the third, which again, this is a stretch. This is only for people, this is a stretch. But I think 12-step meetings would help anybody. I know that's a stretch. Then, there's open meetings and closed meetings. And an open meeting, any human being can go to. A closed meeting, it's supposed to be for people who have a desire to stop drinking. That's the requirement of AA. If you have a desire to stop drinking, it doesn't say you have to stop drinking. You just have to have a desire to stop drinking. So, anyway, but again, like I said, that's a stretch. People are like, oh, you're just trying to get me to an AA meeting. And again, okay, maybe, but anyway, open AA meetings, anybody can go. Anybody. They understand, they don't understand. They read the big book. They don't read the big book. They know the 12 steps. They don't know the 12 steps. Anybody in the world can go. So anyway, that's my 3 things. I think, but anyway, I'll back up and like Brown Bear had, basically have said what I said. I'll stick with that the most. Yes, the 12 steps teach you how to live life. It would benefit anyone. So that's I have several loved ones that had addiction issues. Yeah, me too. I'm the youngest of 9. We certainly were higher than 10%. I'm the youngest of 9, and so Brown Bear Jamboree, most of the meetings are open. Each meeting has a different makeup of people, so it's best to try different ones. Amen. Yeah. And I'm not, that's not why I'm here and stuff. That's kind of where I first started learning personal responsibility. Like, and I'll be all over the place. I'm sorry. I am, I'm clean and sober. And I've been clean and sober for quite a few 24 hours a day. And the 12 steps saved me, and my sponsor saved me, and the big book saved me, and the 12 the AA meeting saved me. I'm not currently going. So I like to say that. I like to put that out there because I'm not. So I'm sorry. Whatever. That's just a fact. I don't feel horrible. I'm not. So anyway, so I'll butcher it because I don't remember it, but the 9th step is made direct amends to people made direct amends to others whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. And that's usually with the direction of your sponsor, which again, that's not a topic. I didn't mean to be talking about all this. So another phrase on that is just cleaning my side of the street instead of going up to someone. And by the way, making an amend is not saying you're sorry. Amend, if you look it up in the dictionary, amend means change. So it is supposed to be a change of behavior. You're not saying I'm sorry or I apologize. It's none of that. It's a change. So anyway, it's personal responsibility. It's my side of the street. I can sweep up my side of the street with no concern about how they're going to react, if they're going to keep hating me, if they're going to forgive me. It has nothing to do with them. It's all about me. So anyway, I've always been involved with this personal responsibility. So when, I got involved with Idaho, to fast forward to now, a couple of months ago, when I got involved with Idaho 4, I was, there's a lot of online meetings all over the world, 24 hours a day. Yes. I've been sober for, since 1986. So it was way before pre-COVID. And so I'm still a huge believer that in-person meetings are far more effective than not in-person meetings. But I do know, because of COVID, there are, hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that get and stay sober because of online meetings. I know it exists, but anyway, I'm old school of thought. So anyway, so when I got involved with Idaho 4, I was just viewing it first, and everything was allegedly and speculation, but then we would crucify people, and Jack 1 and Jack 2 and Jack 3 and Jack 4 and Jack 5 and Jack 6 and Jack 7 and Jack 8 and Jack 9 were all guilty, and we ruined their life. Jack 1 and 2 will never get their life back. And Jake, he certainly, my first guess with nothing to base it on was Jake. That was my first guess. So, so anyway, they got, and I was guilty, I was streaming and stuff. So, I was guilty and stuff, but anyway, almost immediately early on, I was watching other streamers, and, they would, they'd have a huge panel, and they'd have all these very outspoken people, and they would say, this is all allegedly, and this is all speculation, and this is all this and all that. And then they'd rip the person a new a-hole. And I'm like, that's not entirely true. And so almost immediately, I'd be a viewer, and I'd be like, they'd be like, well, media messed up on this and media messed up on that. And I'd be like, we're media. You're media. I'm media. We're all media. You can't be, we have a responsibility of us carrying the message. So anyway, I was, a lot of that fell on deaf ears. And, of course, that's not my side of the street. I should stay on my side of the street. So anyway, as far as my streaming goes, I was involved. I was on a couple panels and other streams, and I even did it on my stream, but I mostly did it on other people's panels. And we, Jack 1 through 10 were, it's ruthless and false and incorrect, but so anyway, it just bugged me. So I would, and there are people that, when you complain, when you voice your opinion as a viewer, they have the power to ban you and mute you and block you. And I'm like, that's not open, golly, so anyway, I can only take care of my side of the street. So, I would say, we're responsible for Jack 1 and Jack 2 never, ever, ever, ever getting their life back again. Ever. They will never get their life back again. I'm like, that's us. That's media. That's YouTube streamers, YouTube livers, whatever you want to call them. So, and everybody else, you can go live on Twitter, and you can go live on Instagram, and you can go live. And as soon as I hit the button, I've been doing live streaming for years. That's not the challenge for me. It's the other thing, the technical stuff, and trying to figure out StreamYards and how to do 2 Twitters and, that kind of stuff. That's the challenge for me. So, by the way, I haven't looked at Discord once. I do have a couple of viewers that once they come on board, or, they don't have to come view, but they will start sharing things with me at Discord. And that's how I get more tabs to share. So I'm sorry, I haven't looked at Discord at all. It shows a 1, so I don't think that's any new stuff. So anyway, in particular, when one person shows up, I'll start looking at Discord like every 5 seconds, because they are a wealth of information, and they help me greatly on what I share. So anyway, it's just yeah. I am pretty new to Discord. I mean, okay, there's exceptions to everything I say. Can you explain? Wow, there was no delay. I mentioned Discord, and your comment that there was no delay. I streamed the 6 platforms, and they're all supposed to be up to 10-second delay. So I'm not sure how the hell you heard me say Discord when maybe you were asking that question before I said the word, but that was quick. B Survivor loves it. She says it's awesome. I don't know very much about it. I'm trying to learn. I'm real OCD. I am disabled. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. Also, in the same breath, I am intelligent. I used to be pretty smart. I've burnt a lot of synapses, so it doesn't always work. So I'm still learning. Now, if I said that and I can read your mind, I mean, that really, there was no delay on that at all. I was like, whoa. And, last night I had a stream, and I don't mean to make anybody feel bad. I don't have filters, and so I just say things. So I'm going to just say it. No one has to respond to this. I'm not bringing this up for anybody. This is just a fact. No one has to respond to this at all. I happen to be on I live streamed last night, and it was late, and it was a race that was rescheduled. So it was a different time, and it was pretty late and stuff. Anyway, I streamed. I don't need any responses. I'm not talking about anybody, but I streamed for, I don't know what I used to write all this stuff down because I had to know exactly. And, who knows if I needed to know. So anyway, I streamed for like 2 hours and 40 minutes or 3 hours, 20 minutes or something like that. And for the entire time, the first time in my life, no one came to visit me. I didn't have anybody come visit, which I don't care. I don't care. So it's fine. But the reason I'm bringing that up is, like, I'll stream to 6 streams, which I haven't even talked about yet tonight. I like to say hi to them and thank them and stuff. But I stream to these 6 streams, and then afterwards I research it and find out if it worked and that stuff. Well, last night I had oodles of time to go live. So I would go on to my Facebook stream as a viewer and then make comments and, oh my God, I know I missed it. Yeah, like I said, that has never happened in my life. I've done 50, 70, 90 streams, since Idaho 4. I've done 50 before, but those were useless. But 50 since Idaho 4. And, within 4 minutes, I have someone. Within 15 minutes, I have a couple people. Within 40 minutes, I have a couple more new people. So, I mean, it's never happened in my life. So anyway, I got on my 2 different Facebooks, made comments, got on the LinkedIn, made comments. So I was testing everything. And then I would get on Discord and see what I could do. So I was doing all this testing, and it was great because I wish, I don't know if y'all see my other description. Like this, my title up there, Personal Responsibility Murdaugh Motorsports live stream, that has a 100-character limit. And I could write 10,000 characters. So that's very limiting for me. Anyway, the second descriptor, it's 5,000 characters, which I have not maxed out yet. I think I'm up to about 2,200 characters. So I'm getting close. But anyway, on those, it lists, I forget what I was talking about as far as what it was listing, but it lists all the streams. I forget what I was talking about, but somehow it was listing my 6 streams. I don't think that's what I was talking about. But anyway, so I tested all this stuff. It was great. I went on to Twitch, which I have no idea what Twitch is. So I was making, it was really cool. It really was, Bear and Brown Bear. And, it was, that's good. you had a chance to learn some new things. And, like on here, like I will say, this is live. This is something I would really say. I would say, I'm going to go backstage. So as of right now, I'm off screen. So you can still see me, but I can't see you. I am off screen right now. So I'm now back on screen. But no, be survivor. I told you not to respond. So Joe, I'm so sorry. I'm such a jerk. And it was 2.5 hours. I can't have one person sustain that. And it was really cool. Brown Bear is right. Like tonight, stuff's going on. So I would never get onto those 6 streams live as a viewer and comment and find out if the comment goes through. Like, okay, let me just talk about, and I'm sorry, I'm way off about Discord. I hope you're not in a rush, Brown Bear. The bottom line for Discord, I don't know what it is. But anyway, this was my prefacing. I preface so much, I forget what the topic is, but I'll try to get back to Discord. So anyway, the 6 streams, okay, as long as it was still cool. And especially what Brown Bear was saying, that I had a chance to learn new things. So anyway, I would click on it and say, hey, I'm going off screen, and I'm not talking to anyone. And then I'm go, whoa, I'm sorry, I was gone for 2.5 minutes. And I come back and there's, and I wasn't going, anyway, I think people can come in and leave without you, so you like the chatting. Okay, good. Because I'll try to get to Discord once. The woman that sends me things through Discord, she's like she always gets me back on topic. Like she'll know, like this is a weird night, but let's just say Murdaugh was number 1 or Motorsports was number 1. I'll be talking and talking and talking. And then finally she goes, Murdaugh? Question mark. She always tries to get me back on topic, which is a good idea because I always get off topic. So, okay. So tonight was supposed to be, I can stream to up to 8 streams. And up until yesterday and Thursday, I only had 6 streams to stream to. So I was always doing 6 streams because 8 was the max, and I'm paying a ton of money, which I don't have, and I'm not recouping any cash money back. It's valuable to me, but not monetarily. That's a whole different topic. But so I've been doing 6. Thursday, I screwed up. I got a warning. I couldn't do Twitter, so I was doing 5. And then finally, I figured out how to add a second Twitter. And last night, I was successful going to the second Twitter, which was really cool. And then 2 a.m. last night, Twitter finally sends me the thing going, oh, this is why you're shut down. And if you just click on this box, it'll all be reset. And I'm like, you effing asshole. Why didn't you send that to me 3 days ago? Because I was asking them, I was doing everything, going through their help and going through, I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to. So anyway, and then I tested that. By the way, I am going to definitely get, way more into, I'm starting it. I was booted off of someone's Discord yesterday, and that probably I won't revisit too much, but I was booted off and I was reading their stuff a ton. I was reading their stuff about an hour or 2 hours every single day. And it was all drama, and it got me in a bad mood and stuff. But, now that I'm kicked off, I have all that time, I guess, conceptually. So I'm really getting ramped up. I'm really going to go really strong into TikTok. I have to. TikTok was always one of my first goals. It seems to be the easiest to monetize if you go live. And to go live, you need 1,000 viewers. And last year in July, I had 13 viewers. And then from July to November or October or something, I went from 13 viewers to 680. I'm like, this is great. It's, a couple more months, I'll get to 1,000. And then the NASCAR series ended and I stopped going to races and it stopped. So I still need to get to 1,000 to go live. And it sounds like it's the easiest to monetize, and it's the, biggest, whatever their matrix is or whatever it's called. Metrics. Yeah, there's metrics of how you make money. And I'm not trying to become wealthy. I'm trying to, buy Oh God, you're gonna make me get a damn TikTok. I know it. By the way, the other thing I'm gonna be talking about is Twitter, and I would love if you got onto Twitter. But because this mix up with Twitter, and I would get off this. I couldn't, I had to go to 5 streams, couldn't go to TikTok, I couldn't go to Twitter, and then I'd finish and I'd go over to Twitter and see if I can just go live, which I've been doing that for 15 years, but I couldn't go live. So I'm like, so the second one worked last night, and then at 2 a.m. No, only Twitter. No, you could do all of them. I think you need a new phone. I think you need a new phone to do all these things. Or that's what I hear from you, I think. But anyway, so I'm going to go back on comments because I'm sure I missed a couple. So, oh no, Twitter too. So, so I don't have TikTok either. I do have Twitter, but I need to practice and learn it. And Twitter is what people say it is. It's a hellhole of negativity and blah, blah. It is what people say it is, but it's what you make of it. And when I say, hey, are you on Twitter? All I mean is, do you have an account? Not are you current, not are you active, not are you live tweeting. I mean, live tweeting could have 2 different definitions, but I mean live streaming on Twitter. You don't need it. I just need an account. And then I can put their handle in my tweet, and then I can connect with them and stuff like that. So anyway, there's a ton of people with accounts, but they're just not active. Anyway, there's also a ton of people without. So anyway, yeah, for me, I want people to have Twitter, and I'm sure this will change in a day or two, but I want people to have Twitter. And I'm not the center of the universe. So how do you see other people's tweets? There's tons of ways to see other people's tweets. I don't know what I said to make it sound like you couldn't see each other's tweets, but you follow them. So yeah. So anyway, I don't want, no one has to know you're on Twitter. You don't have to talk to anyone. They don't have the opportunity to yell at you. They don't have to say your pictures, whatever, all the nasty stuff that goes on. So you don't have to do any of that. I just want you to be available. And again, I'm not the center of the universe, but that you would be available for my stuff. And again, I would put your handle, if you don't mind. I mean, some people are like, no, I'm private, don't do that. But if you don't mind, I'd put your handle in my tweet, and then you'd get the notice that it went live. It'd be like, oh, Joe's live. Again, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the Pope or Biden or Trump, or you can find. I get most all my news from Twitter. I get most all my news. If there is and I know this is a horrible example, but it's true. If there is a shooting anywhere in the world, I hear about it within 5, 10, 15 minutes. Anywhere in the world. So that's where I get all my news. And some of that can be false, of course. So you have to verify it and stuff like that. So how do you... Now I'm all over the place. So, I'm all over the place. I did politics, and I'm really passionate about invisible disabilities, and I can get catty and, whatever. So, people, a few people have banned me. They blocked me. So anyway, I'll give Twitter a try soon. I'll add you, and you feel free to. But during a NASCAR race, for example, and I'm not doing this because of StreamYards, but I want to get back to Twitter. That's my bread and butter. That's where I'm going to make money, unless TikTok, I get to 1,000 followers. But quick. I need to do that quick, or I need to get back to Twitter, or by some miracle, StreamYards grows. YouTube is not a big grower for me. There's too many other people that are much bigger. And, I went live tonight at about the same time as some other big streamers go live. And, so I'm not, anyway, it's just not going to grow. So anyway, I I see. I might be able to handle that. But again, I don't, when I get all hyped up and I say 200 words a second, it may not all be perfectly described perfectly. But I think I probably said it correctly, and that you don't have to tweet. You don't have to tweet. No one has to say really bad things to you. No one has to tweet. You don't have to tweet. And you can, okay, so during a NASCAR race, which I now no longer do, but when I was just on Twitter, during a NASCAR race, I would tweet 150 times during a 3-hour race. So if you follow me, you will get those notifications. You'll get 150 notifications over 3 hours. So I have a ton of followers, but because of my OCD, a lot of them mute me, which is not the end of the world. I want the number. Same thing. I use Twitter in the opposite way. Liza Bell. Hey, Liza Bell, no problem. Liza Bell, hello. I better start watching Discord. Right now, Discord is 1, so I hope I don't miss any downloads. I'm late. Sorry. No problem. Thanks for being here. So something about Twitter I was saying. I forget what I was saying. But anyway, Liza Bell. B Survivor says Liza Bell. I gave her. See? Brown Bear says Liza Bell. I do believe I gave her the name Bell. Thank you for following suit on that. Liza Bell. Thanks for being here. So if you're following me, you get 150 notifications. So after a while, because my OCD, people mute me. So again, I use Twitter in the opposite than most people care about how many followers they have. Well, I care about how many people I follow. That's how I get the news. That's how I want to call her that too. Yeah, I mean, doesn't Liza Bell, doesn't it go together just perfectly? And then you're reading my mind again, Brown Bear. So anyway, I said I was going to go back over the comments because I think I missed a couple of them, which I'll probably try to do. So anyway, the 6 streams that I'm lying, I try to be a vessel of chill and good vibes. I fear Twitter could spoil that. I can get quite bossy, we'll say. Twitter is just about everything that you heard that it is. And you have free reign. You can block people. You can mute people. You can first tell them to F off and then mute them or block them. So it is exactly what you have heard. I'm not going to candy coat it and say, no, if you're positive, then Twitter's positive. No. No matter what you are, positive, negative, whatever you are, it can mirror you or it could be 10 times worse. So it's out there, but you don't have to engage. And I've engaged, like I said, Denny Hamlin, he blocked me. Mercedes, AMG, Petronas, Formula One, whatever the name of that team, they've blocked me. Sky News, Formula One, they blocked me, and there's a few others that have blocked me. So, I mean, I get uppity, but, okay. So the 6 streams that I'm sending tonight. Yeah. You're right, Brown Bear. It can be everywhere. You're right. I mean, I'm reeling. I think I'm streaming tonight because I feel I was shat upon yesterday. So yeah, so YouTube can be real bad and negative also. And Be Survivor Brown Bear, very true. So anyway, I'm there's so many differences about my stream tonight, but the 6 streams that I'm streaming tonight is Facebook profile, Facebook page. I have 2 Facebooks. I don't really understand the difference, but I have 2 of them. A LinkedIn profile, YouTube with no descriptor, just YouTube, and then Twitch, no descriptor, and then Twitter. And like I said, I used to have my primary Twitter, which before Idaho 4, my, bread and butter or whatever, and I didn't make any money anywhere, but Twitter was my main thing. And I have 3 accounts, but I have one main account that's all the numbers. And that's the one that I lost Thursday morning. And so I did 5 streams. And then, I figured out, I got in touch with StreamYards, and they taught me how to add the second Twitter. So I added the second Twitter and streamed it last night. So I had 6 streams last night, but it was a second Twitter. And then as I'm going to bed at 2 a.m, Twitter, after frickin' 4 days, they finally send me the thing and say, okay, you were bad, and this is how you correct it. I'm like, I told you 4 days ago I was bad. Why didn't you tell me then? So, and they said, click this and everything's fine. And I clicked that and everything was fine. And I didn't go live, but it was 2 a.m. I had no shirt on, and I was like, I'm going to see if I can live stream. So, yeah, it is a lot of platforms to keep up with, but that's the reason I'm on StreamYards. I'm a person with disabilities. I don't work. I'm on a fixed income. I have no extra money. And I can go on that forever, but there's just to put it in a little perspective, I don't buy hot food. I don't buy the dollar menu at McDonald's. I don't buy hot food. My only food that I eat is food stamps. That's the only food I eat. So it's a pretty low budget. So for StreamYard, you can do a free StreamYard, and then you can do basic, which is $29 a month or $20 a month if you buy the whole year. And you can stream up to 3 platforms or destinations, but I have 6, and I hate making a decision, so I don't want to choose 3 of the 6, but I could if I have to. Or you can go to StreamYard Professional, which is what I'm currently on, and you can stream up to 8 platforms. And I had 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, and then I lost Twitter, so I added a second Twitter. Sorry about that being my middle finger. And I'm probably going to add a third Twitter, and the first one came back. So that will be 8. That will be my 8 ones. Now, what I tried to do tonight is I tried to do two Twitters, and I assume they're aware of each other. So I assume when you go live on one Twitter, you can't go live on the other Twitter. I'm just guessing that. I may now have another warning. There might be another warning that I've gotten to. So anyway, but anyway, the professional is $49 a month. Or if you buy the whole year, which these Nightbots keep asking for, if you buy the whole year is $468, which is $39 a month. Again, for a year or 2, I won't pay $49 and get $69 back. There won't be a monetary exchange, so I can't say, oh, it's worth it. It has to be a conceptual thing of, is this Twitter, is this building me to somewhere? Now, currently, I'm not a big fan of YouTube. YouTube seems to be not a bunch of numbers, and not a bunch of this, and not a bunch of that, and not a bunch of this. And I've never done Facebook, and I've never done LinkedIn and stuff. So Facebook seems to have some. Oh, also Facebook, when you live stream to Facebook, it automatically live streams to Instagram. So I'm really always going to 7 streams. Again, with this Twitter, it's 7 or 8 or whatever. I don't, whatever. So, but I'll just talk about the 6, that. So, but yeah, it is. And with my OCD, I can, anyway, I was thrown off that Discord yesterday. So I suddenly got all these hours, and I started printing my stuff up, and I'm like, I got to get going on TikTok. I got to get going on Twitter. I have to get, and I have to, plus, Formula One is starting this weekend, so I can't get effing behind. NASCAR started 2 weekends ago. IndyCar starts this weekend, so it's like I gotta get going. And that anxiety doesn't. The more anxious I get, the less productive I am. So I have to somehow figure out how to do that. But anyway, so Discord. Bottom line, like B Survivor is pretty new to it, but she really knows how to use it a lot. I thought that Liza Bell did not like Discord and she blamed it on a password, I thought, but she's like, no, I love it. And she seems to be quite versatile on it too. I, with my disabilities, you are going to be busy with races, fun. And I don't know how I'm going to do it because I can't show the effing race. And as B Survivor and everybody knows, rules don't apply to me. Rules do not apply to me. They don't. They never have. I still don't get it totally, but I do love it. So I got a warning on Thursday morning. If you agree to, like erase the video or, let it be blocked or whatever. If you agree to that, then you instantly go back online. But then you get a strike and you're down for a week. And then you get a second strike and you get down for 2 weeks. And then you get a third strike. And I think you're indefinitely down. They don't really say forever. Or I didn't print it up. I need to read things. I can't remember what I read. But I don't like passwords. I like information, and Discord's lets us exchange info. By the way, B Survivor was one of the first people to, I think, share a picture of her cat. And I'm like, how can I do that? Give me a camera. People want to see my cat. How do I take a picture? And I've yet to share anything on Discord that's not words. So I don't know how to do it. But B is sending a ton of stuff. Liza is sending a ton of stuff. Plus it has that audio channel, which is really cool. So anyway, the Discord that I was thrown off of is where I learned the most about Discord. My Discord, which it's called a server. Anybody in the world can set up a Discord server. It's their own server. And I don't know how to define. I mean, I'm an old school of thought for computers and I kind of have a degree and all that stuff. So, but I think, so I would define server, server meant something else 20, 30 years ago with computers, but it's about the same, but a little different. So you can set up your own Discord server, but it's mine. It's Joe Hart's Discord server. And I would describe it as a filing cabinet, which is kind of what a server is 20 years ago. But so I set up a server and then I can invite people and they can join. And then there's things you can do. So you can set up, I set up and it's like a thread, it's like, you make comments and you say hi to people and then you respond and then you can respond to specific comments and stuff. So it's like a thread in Twitter, but not everybody's on Twitter, but just a thread, they respond, you respond, they respond, you respond. I mean, but it can, again, this Discord that I no longer use. Was that Discord? Are you downloading something for me? Oh my goodness. I don't know what you're downloading. I'll go try to find it for sure. So, oh yes, I got a better picture of my black cat family. Yes, but I mean, you did it. Again, you downloaded Discord immediately, and I was like, "Whoa, is that really her? That's got to be a hack." I was like, "Someone stole her account. She would never be there." So close. Kitty, yeah. What's his name? Francis. And so anyway, I like I said, I don't think I've shared a picture yet. But anyway, so it's a filing cabinet, and then I can set up rooms, maybe, I guess would be. So I have a general room, and then I have an Idaho 4 room, and then I have a motorsports room. And then it has this separate thing, which is really cool. It's an audio, I guess they call them channel. So it's an audio channel. So yeah, it's like a server for conversations and sharing. It's pretty cool. So this audio, it's called channel, right? That's what it's called. Let me get on here. I hope I'm using the right word. What's Face ID? So so it's voice. Okay, so there's text channels, text like words, like I said that's the only thing I've shared so far. So there's general, Idaho 4 and motorsports, NASCAR, Daytona 500. And then there's voice channels and there's general and motorsports. And I don't like typing and I don't like retyping. I like to do cut and paste at the worst. And others in my there's other people that don't like to type. So it's kind of neat to do the audio channel where we can talk. And it's the freakiest thing. It's still freaky. I've done it maybe 4 or 5 times. And it's usually intimate. It's usually 2 people or 3 people, 2 people usually. And I still freak because I'm like, well, where are they? How can I hear them talk? But it's you just talk. And I did try last night. I guess you can also share videos or anyway, I didn't figure out how to use that last night, but I hosted it. I did set up. Anyway, that's off the topic. So anyway, it's just a filing cabinet to put all the stuff that I want to talk about on. And then I invite people. And then they can talk to, I haven't figured out a whole bunch. It's like anything else. It's like YouTube where you have, you can have a moderator, a mod, and, you can have people, safeguard and stuff, so, anyway, that's probably, I don't know if that made it more confusing or if it made you come up with more questions, Brown Bear, but, like I said, B Survivor probably knows a lot more about it than I do. Anyway, I'm going to go back on comments. I'm OCD. I hate missing comments. So I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. I am so sorry for that. Oh, that's more than an hour. I'm going to just try to plow through this. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I am so sorry. So B Survivor, hey, Joe, and Brown Bear Jamboree. Hey, Joe, great to see you. And B Survivor, I'm good, Joe, thanks. And then Brown Bear, hi, B Survivor, so nice to see you. And B Survivor says, hi, Brown Bear. And I know those are all repeat, but I probably missed some along the way. Good to see you too, says B Survivor. And Brown Bear says, so what is Formula One? I'm a newbie. And then B Survivor does an emoji. I don't like emojis. I don't understand them. Brown Bear, that's a lot of money. It sure is. Nope, never seen them. Lewis Hamilton and Brown Bear were up to within an hour already. Now, I just watch when my husband has it on, so I don't know much. And then who all wins money in the race? Only first place? Nope, a bunch of them, but I don't know exactly how Formula One works. I think NASCAR is still all 40 drivers win something, but it's not $1 million anymore. I don't know what it is, but it's private. They won't tell us. But I bet it's $1/3 or $500,000 if you get last place. Or I'm just guessing. But it's something. It's not nothing. So same here, B Survivor. You bet for $1 million. Yes, must be nice, Brown Bear. And in such high wages in all professional sports, it is crazy. Amen. I agree. And then sheesh. Hope I did the right voice inflection to that and B Survivor. Everything is important. I love that. I wonder if I can make bumper stickers? Everything is important. I like that. I think it's higher than 10%. Amen. Liza Bell Jean, we were talking about alcoholism and addiction and stuff. And, I said, when I went to treatment, which was in 1986, that they said, 10% at least. I think they're guessing low, but they said at least 10% of the population of anything, of the world, of the United States, of your classroom, of your carpool, 10% of anything were alcoholics. And then, of course, Brown Bear says, I think it's higher than 10%. Me too. So, yes, the 12 steps teach you how to live life. It would benefit anybody. Absolutely. I have several loved ones that had addiction issues. Most of the meetings are open. Each meeting has a different makeup of people, so it's best to try different ones. I'm sorry, I keep repeating these things. I'm getting close, 10:30. I'm 39 minutes behind. There's a lot of online meetings all over the world, 24 hours a day. Yes. And Brown Bear, can you explain what Discord is? I'm always wondered. So you wrote that at 10:35, and I probably just started talking about it 10 minutes ago. So I was 25 minutes late, which you said you like the chit chat, but boy, that's a long time. 10:35, I was late. So Brown Bear, it's awesome. I'm brand new at it, LOL. And you can read your mind because you said Discord. I swear that popped up as the word was coming out of my mouth. And when I was alone last night and I did all the tests on all the live streams. The other thing I noticed, and I think this was true with all the streams, my first comment in Facebook was 12 seconds delayed. Then the second one was 7 seconds delayed. And then the third one was 5 seconds delayed. And that happened in every platform. And I don't know if they have, not a queue. What's that word? RAM. I can't think of the right word. But I don't know if it, what's that temporary things are stored on computers? I forget what the word I'm trying to figure out. But so they all got faster. I was like, oh, that's cool. Because when, Facebook was 12 seconds, I was like, 12 seconds? That's a different conversation. They would make a comment and I'd get it in 12 seconds. I'd be like, what the F? And by the way, I've, with my disability, it's in my rules, but I don't expect everybody to read my rules or even adhere to my rules. But I always ask, I was like, please give me context for your comments, because I might be, like if I said, hey, who's your favorite driver for NASCAR? And then I start talking, and then I start getting answers in a minute or two, I might go, why did you write Kyle Busch? What it's, I would already forget. Anyway, I'm getting distracted over there on some live stream right now. So, and then 2 more emojis. Oh my God, I know I missed it. Don't worry. That's good. You had a chance to learn some new things. It was cool. It really was cool. I didn't mean to bring it up to, whatever. I was just talking, not just, me, no filters. Joe, I'm so sorry. I'm such a jerk. You are never a jerk. Be nice to yourself. Never. Anyway, you can do whatever you want. You can call yourself whatever you want. But I would prefer that you don't call yourself a JERK. You are not. Okay, as long as it was still cool. It was still cool. I like chit-chatting. Thank you for saying that, because I was so late on Discord. Oh, God, you're going to make me get a damn TikTok. I know it. Anyway, I printed up a bunch of stuff today, and I am pumped. I am ready to do TikTok. I'm ready to do live Twitter. I don't think I'm going to do live Twitter on 3 accounts, but probably just on the 1 account. And then, continue doing StreamYard, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell if it's worth $49 yet. And I don't have the $49. So if I continue paying $49, or better yet, I raise money or part of the money to pay $468 for a year, anyway, I don't have that money. So I have to fundraise it and make sure it's worth it to them and worth it to me. And, my partners and sponsors are okay with where the money's going, that kind of stuff. So here's 3 more emojis. So I don't have TikTok either. I do have Twitter, but I need to practice and learn it. Yeah, Twitter is something, and then Elon Musk, everybody's worried about what he's doing. And I don't want to get political, although I have streamed about politics. Liza Bell, which I haven't heard anything from you, Liza Bell, but she would say, and I'm going to butcher your quote, Liza Bell, but I think it's something about, will I never mention politics again? Highly unlikely. And I'm like, what? You've been in my panels and you've never talked politics with me? Come on, why not? So, I don't. And, of course, you kind of want to, it's good to have opposing opinions, but it's good to have similar opinions. So anyway, I don't know why I brought this. So how do you see other people's tweets? So yeah, I don't know if I answered that at all. You get a Twitter account, and then you can just start streaming. You can just get onto Twitter and then just start, you can just start searching for things, or you have a timeline and you can just go down your timeline. Now, the timeline generally comes from who you follow or who follows you or that kind of stuff. So I follow everybody. And like I said, I use Twitter a little differently. Most people care about how many followers they have. And I'm like, no, I care about who I follow, but they're related. There is those Russian bots. And so when Trump lost whatever it was, 7 million Russian bots, I learned I lost 15,000 Russian bots. So if your followings and followers are close, then you can follow as many people as you want. But if it's not close and I lost all those bots, I will never be able to follow another person until I get 15,000 more followers, which will never happen. So I will never be able to follow anyone else again on my primary account. So I want everybody to follow me on my primary account, but when you follow me on that, one of my other 2 accounts follow you back, and people are like, wait, who's this? So it's kind of weird. So anyway, but no, you can open up a brand new account, be following no one, and no one follow you. And you can get on the Twitter and just start, you can do, you can research things. You can say, hey, what is Formula One doing? And you just type in Formula One and you get all those tweets, and you can look at it and you go, what's Joe Biden doing? And you type that in and you get all his stuff. So, I mean, you can immediately start seeing other people's tweets immediately. But now that's been years since I've had 0 followings and followers. So I might be a little off on that, but it's roughly like that. So I don't know. I probably complicate things because I talk. Yeah, I talk. Oh, I see. I might be able to handle that. Yeah, I hope so. I'll give Twitter a try soon. I'll add you. Like I said, I have 3 accounts. Oh, Liza Bell, 1051. Okay, new comments. Let me go down to the bottom. Liza Bell. I'm brutal on my political views. I have no gray areas with my politics. I'm scared. I am certainly scared, but I'm pretty opinionated. I'm pretty knowledgeable, so, but yeah, I get scared. I'm like, I hope we're not the opposing views. I think I know a little bit about you. I would probably guess we're similar in thinking, but I have no idea. So yeah, I mean, you keep talking about that stuff, but anyway, we can do a political. Okay, back to Liza Bell. So at 10:51, which is 26 minutes, so it's not an hour and a half, I'm catching up. So Liza Bell Rose says, hello, I'm late, sorry. And B Survivor says, Liza. And Brown Bear, of course, reading my mind, says, hi, Liza Bell. And she said, I want to call her that too. I love that name. I love Liza Bell. And then Liza Bell to Brown Bear, hi. And then B Survivor, I try to be a vessel of chill and good vibes. I fear Twitter could spoil that. I can get quite bossy, will say. I like how you are vague there. But yeah, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Like I said, I am blocked by Denny Hamlin. And every single year when the season starts over, I write him on Twitter and say, could you unblock me? It's been 5-7 years. Could you unblock me, please? It's not the end of the world. I'm media. You're a driver. I'm covering the sport. But the thing is I'm going to treat him the exact same way. So even if he unblocked me every year, I'd be blocked within a week. So, anyway, so, we're human. We do things. So Liza Bell to be a survivor. Hello. And Brown Bear to, LOL, be survivor. Yeah. The bossy will say. And then her smiling. I think I said something. YouTube can be real bad and negative also. Amen. That's that, Discord thing that I got thrown out of. That's real drama heavy, and I'm pretty upset that I was thrown out, but that's all right. I don't know why I was thrown out. Also, someone had been invited to my Discord and then they left. And I saw them tonight. Not saw them. We were both viewers in a stream tonight. And I kind of discreetly just said, hey, I have a question. Did you leave the Discord? And they said, no. I said, oh, okay. I couldn't find your name. My bad. Which I'm new to Discord. So there could be ways to hide your name or, veil your name. There might be things to do, but you're still there. But their name wasn't there. So Brown Bear, very true. So that's a lot of platforms to keep up with. It is. And I'm OCD and I've been doing this for years and I'm not a billionaire yet, so it's not working. And you're going to be busy with races, fun. And again, like I said, rules don't always apply to me. And so I'm sure I'll make a mistake and have my laptop pass by my TV and then I'll be shut down. So I don't know how to do that. I still don't get it totally, but I love it. And then Liza Bell, 19 minutes ago. I'm not getting much closer. Okay, let me go back to the new comments. Let me see here. Be Survivor. I have my personal views, which are strong, but I can still be Switzerland about everything I feel. Switzerland. I think you're the one who, I was like, what's that country that's neutral? And I think you're the one who threw it out to me. For instance, no one will ever change how I feel. For instance, no one will ever change how I feel about life or politics, but I'm open to hearing how others choose to live their lives as well and try to meet in the middle somewhere. And, I mean, I think, I brought up politics. So, obviously people have been, I generally try to stay away from politics, but to, continue visiting the topic, I think in the last 4 years and 8 years and 10 years, it's gotten far more volatile. And I think there's a lot more people that have, stopped liking their family members because of the way they vote. So it's kind of weird how things like that have just set up non-negotiable boundaries, which I think is too bad. But, I'm the youngest of 9 and I'm pretty estranged from my family and stuff. Yes, I agree. It's sad. Yes. Amen. So, 1101. So, okay, back to Liza at 1101. I don't like passwords. I like information, and Discord's lets us exchange information. And, Liza Bell, when I know I'm not supposed to be talking much about my backstage and private chat because it's backstage and it's a private chat. So please, anybody that comes to my streams a lot, when I talk about you backstage and you don't like that, please tell me not to talk about you in backstage. But anyway, I'm like, I can't mention who. But anyway, when a couple people came backstage a couple days ago to try to get on the Discord, I had no idea if it was going to work. And I was like, here, let's try that, get that link and click on it and see if it'll work and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, I hate passwords and blah, 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 blah. Well, it worked. I can't believe it worked. I mean, for me, I hate passwords and I have hell of a time with passwords. And I'm usually never successful about those things. So I can't believe it worked. But that was so cool that it worked. So anyway, so Liza, yes, that's why I like it. I think it's fun. By the way, I don't know. Oh yes, I got a better picture of my black cat finally. Yeah, that black cat, Fluffy. I loved Fluffy. And then you say kitty. I think you're talking about my kitty, Francis. I think that was right after I said it. So it's like a server. How do you define server? Do you know? You're not that old, so you're not. Network server. You don't use server as that definition, right? Of when computers were computers and there weren't apps and that kind of stuff. So it's a server with conversations and sharing is pretty cool. So I'm brutal on my political views. I have no gray spaces with my politics. I hope we generally feel the same way. I don't know. We do, right? You have an idea. I'm from Vermont. I have a beard. Be Survivor. I have my personal views, which are strong, but I can still be Switzerland about everything I feel. For instance, no one will ever change how I feel about life and politics, but life are politics. But I'm open to hearing how others choose to live their lives as well and try to meet in the middle somewhere. Well, I don't know if I try to meet people, but I'll talk to them. I mean, I was yes, I agree. It's sad. Liza, politics. I had to learn to shut up. I sit and watch like now. Okay, Liza. Oh, well, I define server as like an app. Wow, you already answered that? Like an app, but I don't really know what it actually is. So yeah. I'm from Maine, but that means nothing. Right. Yeah, I mean, Vermont. Yeah, you're right. There's things that don't mean anything. Anyway, I'll probably try to talk about one more thing. And Brown Bear, you still around? I'm sure you're just listening. Brown Bear, 11 o'clock, 24 minutes ago. So anyway, you can listen all you want. So anyway, I'll tell one more political story, but I don't think it's really political. But I'll tell one more political story, and people can just watch and not. I'm from Washington State, and I have the stats about all the states, but I don't remember them. Although I think I have it pretty close. Maybe I don't. Anyway, as I tell this story, you'll get what I. Yeah, I don't have it in my. I usually have it in here. The 2020 results for all 50 states plus DC, all 51 entities, and I have them ranked, for. But anyway, so I'll try to skip over some of the more political things, but let's just say when 2016 happened, I was really surprised. I was really blown away. I was really upset. I was like, OMG, what is wrong with this country? And Brown Bear, we were literally on opposite sides of the country. I'm in your future. Yeah, the time. It's 11:25 here, but it's 8:25 there. But anyway, so when 2020 came around, I was following NASCAR and stuff. And Liza, politics. Joe wants to hear Liza's rant. No, Liza, I'm scared now, especially if we're opposing views. I don't, I mean, I love you and I honor you and I trust you and so I would be able to handle anything you said, but I'm a little nervous. I'd be like, God, I hope she feels similar to what I think. And again, that's not the way the world works. Not everybody, that's why there's 2 parties and actually a whole bunch of more parties. But anyway, okay, so I was on the road with motorsports and then COVID happened. So in February, I was in Florida. There was 4 upcoming motorsports events for the coming weekend. I usually get in an event. I usually get at it back then, or, I guess I still try to do it. I don't like crowds. So I usually get there a day or 2 early and I leave a day late. I don't like crowds. So Liza said wants to hear. We knew what you meant. Brown Bear, still good in the future. I promise. And then B Survivor, LOL. So anyway, so there's 4 events. And now they're all in Florida, 4 different series, NHRA, IndyCar, IMSA, NASCAR. And I'm like, oh, shit, which one am I going to go to? And I had an idea. And, I get there early. So I was there Monday or Tuesday. I was there Tuesday. And on Tuesday, the first of the 4 canceled, or postponed. They're like, something's up, this COVID. We don't know what it is, but something's up. So we're going to cancel. I'm like, okay, there's 3 more events. So the second one canceled. And I'm like, uh-oh. And the third one canceled. And of course, this is when COVID started. So the 4th one canceled and there were no more events for 2 or 3 months or whatever. NASCAR was the exception. So they got back much quicker. But anyway, I'm in Florida and it's February, the beginning of the season, like the events this weekend, those kind of things happening. And I went, huh. And I don't know if you all know about caucuses and primaries, but they start in February. And last time they started in Iowa, and they usually start in Iowa. Iowa kind of screwed up, so they might lose that. I don't think they will, but it was threatened that they would lose being the first state. Anyway, I'm in Florida, nothing to do. And I'm like, hell, let's go out to Idaho or Iowa. So I went out to Iowa. So anyway, I ended up during 2020, which, for a lot of people, that was the worst year in their life because of COVID. And it was the worst year in their life. For me, it was kind of one of the best years of my life. So for the calendar year of 2020, I was on the road for 235 days. That's 8 months, I do believe. So I was on the road for 235 days, about 8 months. I went to 31 states. And I'm media, but I think one cool thing about live streaming is I can cover anything. There's specialists that do basketball and that do politics but I think with live streaming, I can cover any event I want. I can go to the Super Bowl. I can go to the World Series. I can go to I can cover anything. I'm live streaming and I'm media. So anyway, I went to cover the political environment for 2020. And it went, from February all the way up to November, the whatever it is, the first Tuesday. And I should know these things, first Tuesday in November or whatever it was, election day. So but anyway, 31 states. So it was pretty intense. And people probably don't know this, and I certainly didn't know it, but when I got out to Idaho, like Idaho's the first state, then New Hampshire, then South Carolina, and blah, 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 blah. And by the time you get to the third or fourth or fifth state, there's like 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans yet left, or even less. 1 or 2 Republicans, 1 or 2 Democrats. But I did not know that when you go to the caucuses in Idaho, which was phenomenal. I could talk about that for hours. That was the coolest thing in the world. But when you go to the caucuses, which is a particular day, but you can get there 4 weeks before and interview or talk to, 5 to 7 candidates every single day for 4 weeks. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm probably saying the wrong state. Iowa. Is that what I mean to say? Iowa is the caucuses. Yes, Iowa. The Midwest, near Kansas and Missouri, and I don't know where it's near. I just type it into my iPhone and go. Yeah, Iowa, not Idaho. So anyway, so the moment that I walked into Iowa, okay, that's what I thought, was just making sure. Yeah, you're fine. I was probably throwing the 2 names around. And all the time when I talk about Idaho 4, I say Iowa. And I'm like, no, it's Idaho. So I miss say names all the time. So anyway, the moment I walked into Iowa before the Iowa caucus, there were, which I did not know this existed, but for Democrats, there were 37 candidates, 37. And you know what? Republicans had more. The Republicans had 38 candidates. That's how many presidential candidates started the presidential race. So 38 Republicans, 37 Democrats. That's 75 people. I interviewed every single one of them except for one. And that was not my choice. That was their choice. I was a bumpkin. I was a live streamer. They didn't want to give me the promotion. I ultimately went to their jamborees and those kind of things. But if you can't tell, it was Trump. So I interviewed all 74 candidates except for Trump. I went to some, what are they called? I forget what it's called. So anyway, so I interviewed 74 people. Now, after the Iowa caucus, which is one fucking state, that is one fucking state. So it goes from 75 to 10. And then South Carolina last time, and I think they are again. No, I'm sorry, New Hampshire, which is real close to where I am. New Hampshire is the second state, and they used to be the first, but now they're the second if Iowa gets it back. I assume Iowa is going to get it back, but they were definitely threatened. You all screwed up. You all will not get it back. So I don't know if they're going to get it back or not. I'm sure it's pretty prestigious to be the first state. So New Hampshire, so it goes from 75 candidates to 10. And at New Hampshire, again, it's 2 states, and it's a puny state. New Hampshire's puny. It's not any people, and it's not many, whatever, the House of Representatives, they don't have anybody. It's a puny. So, sorry, am I talking about it? Miss Liza has started the transmitting music on one. Okay, I'll stop. No, I won't stop, but I'll try to finish this quicker. So, anyway, so New Hampshire, and then after New Hampshire, it goes down to 4 about. And then South Carolina is the third state, which is relatively small. I don't know how many, Sorry. So anyway, by the time newspapers are reporting the stuff, they're saying there's these two candidates for Republican and these two candidates for a Democrat. And that's all we know. We're like, what do you mean there's 75 of them? So it was the coolest thing in the world. Okay, so that's kind of the end of that story. If I could revisit Iowa again, if you care about politics this much, not like Liza, but if you care about politics this much and you have the time, I would highly recommend you go out to Iowa. And I wanted to go 2 weeks before the caucuses because I thought 2 weeks, that's a ton of time. And then CNN was having a debate out there. So I went 2.5 weeks early. And when I got there for the debate, which, so anyway, I went out for the debate and I was late. So I was 2.5 weeks before the caucus and I was late. And they still believe in newspapers. And if you bought the daily newspaper, Des Moines Register or whatever it's called, but you buy the newspaper, it's online too, but it's mostly in the newspaper. So if you buy the newspaper and it will tell you, no lie, 5 to 9 different events in a day. If you didn't eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, you could be at events from the time you woke up to the time you go to sleep. And some of them had food, but they wanted you to be there for media. So it'd be 5 to 7 to 9 to 11 different events throughout the day, and I was 2 weeks late. So if you go 4 weeks early, you will see every freaking candidate or as many as you want. I wanted to see I'm OCD, so I wanted to see everybody. And so anyway, it was wild. It was the coolest thing in the world. Now, I don't feel the same way now as I did then. It was not as urgent as it was then. It was very urgent, and that's why I hit the road. I don't feel the same way. I probably should feel the same way, but it doesn't feel as urgent, but it could be urgent really quickly. So anyway, who knows? So, and that's in this is February 27th, 2023. So within a year, toward the beginning of February. So within 11 months, they'll be doing the caucuses, which I want to be 4 weeks early. So that's within 10 months, I could be done with motorsports and crime sleuthing. And, I could just be doing the politics. Okay. So that's the end of that. So anyway, I don't know. I don't know if there was a question or if I got way off the topic. So I don't know how far I had to go back. Let me see. So I have now read it 3 times, but it's getting me refocused on, I'm brutal on my political views. I have no gray spaces with my politics. I have my personal views. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. For instance, okay, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. Yes, I agree. It's sad. Politics. Oh, well, I define server. Okay. So, I'm from Maine, but that means nothing. I'm from Washington State. Brown bear, we're literally on opposite sides of the country. I'm in your future. You'd love being in everybody's future. Politics Joe wants to hear Liza's rant. Liza, be survivor. Do you want to be a panelist? I haven't had a panel in forever. Are you too scared of my panels now? Did I do something about y'all? Is there a reason y'all don't do panels? Brown bear, it's still good in the future, I promise. And Liza, be survivor. Iowa or Idaho? Yeah, I know, keep switching, but it's Iowa. Okay, that's what I thought, was just making sure. Yeah, no problem. Wow. Yeah, 75 candidates. Mrs. Liza has started the transformation. The Dr. Jekyll. We need music on 1, 2. Liza. LOL. Go for it. So I just chill in the future. It's awesome. So anyway, So like I said, I don't know what the topic was going to be tonight. I'm not ready to, go into be survivor. No, I'm not scared. It's just super loud in my house until late once hubby goes to bed. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to say scared, but I get nervous. Did I do something? That's all I mean. So again, the personal responsibility kind of gets back to that, YouTube live streamers. We all need to be personally responsible for what we do. And YouTube live streamers need to be responsible for how it affects other people, like all the Jacks, Jack 1 through Jack 10, especially Jack 1 and 2. They will never get their life back again. But anyway, I've seen several live streamers that are like, no, everything we talk about is allegedly and speculation. And so, I don't want to sound too dumb. When we talking about NASCAR? Never. That's later this week. But I did put in motorsports. So I said personal responsibility, and I try to put everything in order and in priorities and stuff like that. So personal responsibility was first. Murdaugh was number 2, which Liza is just a wealth of information. And she and I talked a little bit, or listened and on Signal earlier, and so that was pretty wild. So Murdaugh's number 2, and then motorsports is number 3. But for NASCAR, this is like I said, it's a really busy week. I'm really nervous about everybody. Let me see. Let's see here. I'm going to go off screen. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. I don't think I have it in here. Okay, so let's go to NASCAR.com and NASCAR on TV. So let me get it queued up. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are pretty useless. Okay, I'm back on screen. I'm scared about NASCAR too, be survivor. She said she didn't want to sound too dumb. Never use those words. Whatever. You can call yourself whatever you want. I don't like those words. Remember when I was a substitute teacher? I didn't mind the word fuck and hell and shit and all that stuff, but I hated the words hate and I can't and the R word that means intellectually disabled, all those kind of things. So I don't like dumb. I don't like what? Really? You know so much, Liza. I've learned so much from you. Yeah, she knows a lot from a long time ago. Plus, she was sending great things to share. So anyway, okay, so I'm okay, so present. By the way, like I said, I can get off topic or on topic or whatever. So here's NASCAR TV. So that's a share. So let's go over the TV schedule first. So I'm going to full screen layout and I'll go off screen. I hope y'all can read that. Okay, so Friday, let's skip the noon and 3 p.m. So 4:30 p.m. is the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Oh, okay. So Las Vegas Motor Speedway is where NASCAR races this weekend. The top 3 series all race there this weekend. So it's the NASCAR Cup Series, which is the top, NASCAR Xfinity Series, which is the one that rained out and raced real late last night. And then the Truck Series we haven't really seen yet, I don't think, which is that one, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. So all 3 of them are racing this weekend. I'm still learning the new format, like post-COVID, and I'm not totally, and different tracks do different formats and stuff, but it used to be that all 3 series had a practice, then a qualification, and then a race. That's not going to be true this weekend, but we'll have to go through this to figure out for sure what it is. So anyway, So Friday, March 3rd, 4:30. These are our Eastern Standard Time. So 4:30, NASCAR Cup Craftsman Truck Series qualifying at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, FS1. That's probably the first NASCAR event this week. And then the 6:30, which might be the same stream, or it might be a new one, NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And then we probably won't do the NASCAR race days because they'll, I can't show those either. And then at 9 p.m. is the truck race. So the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, it's got a name. So anyway, so Friday has a 4:30, 6:30, and 9. And then if we go down to Saturday, there, as you can see in the far right of the descriptors, they all say re-air. So anyway, the 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 4:30, 6 a.m., 6:30, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. are all re-airs. So skip all those. So the 1:30 is Cup qualifying at Las Vegas. 2 p.m. is Cup qualifying. That's the same thing. I'm not sure what that means. Usually it goes to a different channel. So usually 1:30 is one channel and then it switches to another channel at 2 o'clock. So that's probably a typo. I don't get that. So 1:30 Cup qualifying, 2 o'clock Cup qualifying. It may be the same or different or a typo or whatever. And then 3:30 is race day, which we don't usually do. And then 4:30 is the race. So 4:30 is the Xfinity Series race. And that was the one that raced last night because there's a rain out. So to summarize that's a 1:30, 2 o'clock, 1:30 and or 2 o'clock. I don't know what that is. And then 4:30 for the race. And then we go to Sunday. Again, a lot of re-airs. So the 1 a.m., 9 a.m., and 11 a.m. are all re-airs. 2 p.m. is race day. 3 p.m. is race day. 3:30 is the race. Cup Series race. That's the main big race of the week. And that's at 3:30. So I think Cup has practice, qualifying, and race, and the other two just have qualifying and race. So I don't know if that made any sense. Was that did that make any sense? So I didn't know that was still on. Let me see what that is. So anyway, that's now let's go. Yes, it did. Okay, cool. So I'll let's exit full screen and then remove from stream and then stop screen. So let's go to present, share screen, Bahrain Grand Prix 2023 F1 race. So this is Formula One. I'm going to go full screen layout, and then I'm going to go off screen so I can read it. So as you can tell at the top, Bahrain 2023, March 3rd through 5th, race weekend. Formula One, Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix 2023. And as you can see there, I don't know if I can click on those. There's my time, which is Eastern Standard Time. This website knows where I'm at. Or, they usually know where any laptop is. So that's my time, and then track time. So let's just look at the top thing there. It says March 5th, race 1820. So for my time, it's at 10 in the morning. Oh, these are all military and all that kind of stuff. So my time is 10 in the morning, Sunday morning. Track time is 1800, which is 6 p.m. So, right? Yeah, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's 8 hours difference. So it's in reverse order here. Now, see down here where it says full schedule, it says broadcast in information and full schedule. I usually click on full schedule and I usually print it up and highlight it and all that kind of stuff. Well, that link doesn't work. So I have to do their summary here for now. And I guess that's probably all I'm going to get. So these are the 5 main events of a Formula One race. This is generally the way it works all the time. So Friday, March 3rd, On Friday, there's 2 practices, practice 1, practice 2. On Saturday, March 4th, there's practice 3 and qualifying. So Friday is 2 practices, Saturday is practice and qualifying, and Sunday is race. So that's all track time, which we don't care about. We want my time, which is Eastern Standard Time. So you still need to, like B and Liza have similar time frames, but Brown Bear, you would subtract, So anyway, okay, so practice 1 on Friday is at 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning. For Brown Bear, that'd be 3:30 to 4:30 in the morning. Practice 2 is 10 to 11 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. And then practice 3 is on Saturday, March 4th, Saturday. Again, they're not always the same time, but this race, it happens to be the exact same time. That's not usually true. They usually like to do different times of day so they can test the tires and things like that. But anyway, so March 4th, Saturday, practice 3 is 6:30 to 7. March 4 is 10 to 11. Now those will probably be 5 different streams. All 5 of these events will probably be a different stream. Like from practice 1 to 2 and practice 3 to qualifying, it's the same amount of time off. It's 2.5 hours off, right? 7:30, 9:30, 10. So yeah, it's 2.5 hours off. So I could certainly talk that long, but I think my goal is try to keep these and I won't be successful at this, but I think my goal is to be as punctual and tight on time as I can. So that's probably going to be 5 events. So I hope that kind of made sense. So, okay, let's see here. So I like the fights. Nothing better than grown men acting like 6-year-olds. I will look at hubby with, "That's your people look." LOL. He hates it. The fights during races? Yeah, it is funny how they fight. They do. Us testosterone-driven stupid asses. Yeah, you're right. Right. So exit, and then so yeah, it is early. You're right. So and then he hates it. Does not even sit with me to watch the races anymore. Oh, so that's yeah. Sorry, Brown Bear. I didn't know if you were still there, but so 6:30 to 7:30 is 3:30 to 4:30 for you. So it's and I'm disabled. I'm OCD. I have to see everything. Well, that schedule I just showed you for Formula One, 95% of the population that watches Formula One, which is not huge, but for everybody that watches Formula One, 95% of them watch the race only. They watch the race only. That would be the Sunday at 10 a.m. Well, that's my time. For you, it'd be 7 a.m. Now, there's pre-show stuff, so it's usually an hour and a half before. So if mine's 10, it would really start at 8:30, which is probably about when the stream will. I don't know when the stream will start. It'll be, an hour or 2 before green flag, so that Liza can send me links and we can look at stuff about that track and things like that. So that's early. Amen. And again, it's 23 Formula One is 23 races in a season, in a year. It's a calendar year. That's what the season is. And that's 23 countries. And I have it somewhere. I worked out all the time zones so the time zones go from 3 hours back, but for me, for Eastern Standard Time. So it goes 3 hours back, which is Las Vegas, to 2 hours back, 1 hour back, 0, which is Miami is my time. And then I think plus 2 hours is Brazil or something like that. And then Europe, about 6 or 8 of the races is 5 or 6 hours ahead from Eastern Standard Time. And then you get a bunch of Asia. You get Japan and China usually, but they canceled. But Singapore. Yeah, Singapore. So those are all like 12, 13, 15 hours ahead. And then Australia, which is the most, Australia is almost a day ahead. I think it's 17 hours ahead. So for Formula One, and again, a lot of people that watch the race actually watch it recorded. So they don't watch it at 2 a.m. They watch it at, 2 p.m. So yeah, anyway, I mean, when I cover all that, my sleep schedule is always off because I want to see it live. I want to see it live. Plus, I want to see all 5 events. I swear to you, people do not watch practice 1, practice 2, practice 3. They might watch qualifications, but probably not. They usually just watch the race. So, but yeah, after I do Russia used to be, because the war, they took the race away from Russia and stuff. But so there's China cancel. What a shock. I wonder why. I think you're joking, right? I think it was COVID or whatever, but they've been on the, I don't think it's political. I don't think it was taken away because we hate them or anything. But anyway, what I knew, I knew, whatever. So yeah, they had originally scheduled 24 races for this year, which would have been the longest year in history. But China canceled, so there's 23 races, which is the longest year in history. And like I said earlier, they did that the last 3 or 4 COVID years. They scheduled 21 and then it was canceled back to 20. And then they scheduled 22 and then it was canceled back to 21. And they scheduled 23 and it was canceled back to 22. So hopefully these 23s actually happen and we will have our longest week ever. So anyway, so that's kind of that. Now I do have and again, where is this? Okay, that's again, this is I'm OCD. It's entirely possible I could wake up Sunday morning and say, sorry guys, I couldn't do Friday and Saturday. But it's also entirely possible that I really will have 10 streams between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I don't expect everybody to see it. But just to give you an idea of the timing of Formula One, I just thought of this afternoon. I go to that race every year. I used to, and I'm not going this year. I feel really bad. I wish I was. But yeah, just to give you, so I'll do present, share screen. Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, share. So let me get back onto the screen. And that has, I'm going to do full screen layout. And it has a lot of information. And this is going to be just like a general summary. I don't want to get bogged down in too much details, although I probably will. But I'll try not to get bogged down. It's just kind of a summary of, holy shit, this weekend really is going to be hectic and crazy and stuff like that. So, okay. So let me see what was on the screen. So, what war? The one that Congress has not declared? Because, oh, Lord, Dr. Jekyll, back to the lab now. Did I say war? No, Russia. Russia was canceled because of the war. Okay. Liza, life is life. Politics is a part of everything. Or it can be. I don't usually try to make it part of everything. But yeah, life is life. I mean, but you were joking, right? When you said China cancel, what a shock. I wonder why. And I try to do a voice inflection as if you were joking. So I think you were joking. But yeah, I was talking about Russia. That's what I meant to say. I didn't mean to say China. But we don't care for them much. And you can have a lot of pull by saying, but I think it's all COVID. I think they haven't quite figured out COVID, and we haven't. We're all friends here. Did I get a little uppity there? Sorry about that. Liza. I love you, Liza. Love you, Bee Survivor. And Brown Bear. So, okay, so this is IndyCar. Again, I don't want to get hung up on details. I want to just to get the general view. And which, by the way, we can probably show some of those Discord downloads yesterday that Lives is sent. They might not be as timely. Oh, I'm not on screen. Sorry about that. I'm talking back screen. Anyway, let's go to this IndyCar. So I'm going to go off screen so I can read it. So there's a lot of stuff here. I just kind of want to do a summary. So that's the broadcast, kind of TV and stuff, but that includes Peacock, which I don't really understand, and then IndyCar. Anyway, those are all. I just look for the CBS and that kind of stuff. So anyway, so again, generally, Friday the 3rd, and these are all Eastern Standard Time. 1:50 to 2:40 is a practice. 3 o'clock to 4:15 is a practice. Those are two different series. Saturday is a whole 4 events. Saturday, March 4th, 8:55 to 9:45 is NXT practice 2. Anyway, there is too much to try to explain here, but 8:55 to 9:45, 10 to 11, 1:35 to 1:55, 2:15 to 3:30. And then Sunday, and there's going to be a lot of repeat further down on this page. This is called broadcast, and the other thing is called like a weekend schedule. So Sunday, March 5th, 9 to 9:30, 9:50 to 11:05, 12 to 2:35. And now, as you can see on that last one, it does show NBC and NBC Universal and then Peacock and then whatever those other things are. That's IndyCar Live and SiriusXM and IndyCar.com, I think, or something like that. So anyway, event detail. It's 100 laps, 180 miles. The 1.8 mile, 14 turn, 5 lefts, and 9 right circuit incorporates streets of downtown St. Petersburg and a section of runway of Albert Whitted, I don't know how to say it, Whitted Airport. After the long front stretch, there's a tight right-hander into turn 1 and then a quick left-hand turn. Plenty of drivers have gotten into trouble in those 2 turns over the years. There are 2 other long straights with heavy braking zones that afford opportunities to overtake. There's social media, and there's the track right there, that, boomerang looking thing. And then this is the weekend schedule. Again, could be some repeat of what we said earlier. So Friday is 3 to 4:15 practice. Saturday, there's a ton on Saturday. So 5 events here, but these aren't necessarily on broadcast. So 10 to 11, practice 2, 2:15 to 2:25. Oh, the next 4 things is all one big part of qualifications. There's a round 1, group 1. There's a round 1, group 2. There's a round 2, and then there's a Firestone Fast 6. And you have to do all 4 of those events to find out how people qualify. So that's all one big event, even though it lists 4 different things. So 2:15 to 2:25, 2:35 to 2:45, 2:55 to 3:05, 3:15 to 3:30. And then Sunday, and I've never looked at one of these warm-ups, but Sunday, March 5th, 9 to 9:30 is a warm-up. I don't know where I'd see it anyway. And then Sunday, March 5th, the race is 12:20 to 2:30. And that's, I don't know when green flag is. I think that's the broadcast. So no, we're all fine. Cool. So, I guess we didn't. So Formula One will be a little tricky, of course, not just for political reasons, but it will be tricky. It's 23 races in 23 countries. And, that includes, if we talk about the most political ones, that includes Saudi Arabia, and they don't treat women too well. And they killed that one media personality, so there's a lot of people are like, you should not go there. So that might be a, I'm not trying to rub anything in anybody's face, but maybe so we could get a flavor of the schedule. Is that okay? What the fuck is going on here? So, So yeah, I don't mean to rub anything into anybody's face, but maybe I'll just go over the 23 race schedule just real quick so people can go, wow, I do not want to go when the Formula One are racing, but and Bahrain is already, Middle East is already pretty challenging. So, and I am usually not always aware of, I'll take a flavor of the schedule. Yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, I want to, but I know a fair amount about politics in America. I know a little bit about world politics. So I don't know a bunch. So when I start talking about Bahrain, there could be someone completely knowledgeable that says, Joe Hart, do you know what Bahrain does to their women? And I'll be like, no, golly, I'm sorry. I support, I'm 100% pro women, but I also like the race. I want to, so anyway, so let's, I think I pulled it up. So there it is. Okay. So let me go here. So stop screen and then present, share screen, share screen. So this is this year's schedule. It's 23 races currently. Last week was the pre-season testing. So that's not a race at all. That's what it sounds like. It's pre-season testing. So these are, starting this weekend, starting Friday will be the start of the first race of the 23 races. And they're not, NASCAR is basically weekly. Be right back. I'm going to get ice cream. Yum. Well, have fun. See you back when you get back. And yeah, yummy sound. Yeah. Ice cream sounds yummy. I want to get ice cream. So, anyway, yum. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So, anyway, yeah, let's, I just, and Liza, I don't know if you're taking a break, Liza. I don't mean to upset you at all, Liza. So I'm not trying to have you turn into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And, I know that's partially a joke and that's partially serious, so I'm not trying to, but yeah, let's try to go through it fairly quick, hopefully fairly harmlessly. So it's staggered. It's kind of strange. It's not set up really easily, but okay. So Formula One schedule 2023 FIA Formula One World Championship race calendar. That says testing. So that's what it was last week. Testing was February 23rd through 25th. That was testing. So round one, March 3rd through 5th, Bahrain. I'm sure there are things that Bahrain does that America is not okay with. Round two, Saudi Arabia. That's probably one of the most controversial races. So round two, Saudi Arabia, March 17th through 19th. Round three, March. And as you'll see, they're either 1 or 2 weeks apart from each other, mostly 2 weeks. And then there's one that's a 4-week break. That's they call it summer something. They can't work on their cars. So anyway, it's I can't tell you precisely if it's 1 or 2 weeks. You'll see as you go through the schedule. But okay, round three, March 31st, April 2nd, Australia. I think they're okay for us. Round four, April 28th through 30th, Azerbaijan. That used to be the European race. And people are like, do you know how close that is to Europe? So they had to kind of change that. My favorite race, I went last year. I don't know if I'll go this year. It was really intense. May 5th through 7th, United States. It's in Miami, Florida. That was intense, but it was too intense. I'm not sure if I'll go back. Round 6, Italy. And I think I said every country we go to once, but I think we might go to Italy a second time, but a different racetrack. I'm not sure if that's true. But anyway, so round 6, May 19th through 21st, Italy. Round 7, May 26th through 28th, Monaco. That's a country. Most people may not know that. Round 8, June 2nd through 4th, Spain. Round 9, June 16th through 18th, Canada. I usually always go, that's the closest race to me. It's about 2.5 hours away. It's really close. Round 10, June 30th to July 2nd, Austria. Round 11, July 7th through 8th, Great Britain. And that's where everybody's based out of. So that's kind of the home race and the home track for all teams, most all teams. One's based out of America, but they're also really based out of London, but they are based out of America. Round 12, July 21st through 23rd, Hungary. Round 13, July 28th through 30th, Belgium, or otherwise they're called Belgique. Round 14, August 25th through 27th, Netherlands. That is where Max Verstappen is from, and he's the champion the last 2 years. Here is Italy again, but it is a different city and track. So round 15, and that's really rare. When COVID happened, a bunch of countries had to cancel, and Italy stepped up, and Italy did 4 races. And I think Formula One feels like they constantly owe Italy, they're indebted to Italy forever because they stepped with all those races. So I think Italy will always get 2 races for quite a while. But I don't know. That might change next year. But yeah, they really stepped up for COVID. Not that that's a good thing, anyway, that can be, COVID can be political too. So I don't, golly, I don't, not everything needs to be political, but so many people might be pissed at Italy that they hosted 4 races. But anyway, they stepped up. Formula One is indebted to them, so they're giving them a second race. Round 15, September 1st through 3rd, Italy. And maybe I'll go back to the screen, see if there's any, no comments yet. So I'll go back. So I'm going to go back off screen. So sorry about that. Let's get back down here. So I think I did Italy. So round 16, September 15 through 17, Singapore. And on Twitter, that is called Formula One night race, I think. It's the only night race, or mainly, it's all night instead of starting in the sun and then finishing in the darkness. It's an all night race. So round 17, September 22nd through 24th, Japan. I think they're okay. I don't know. Round 18, October 6th through 8th, Qatar. It took them quite a few years to get Qatar on. I think that's how you pronounce that. To get Qatar in the schedule. I think there is some controversy. I just don't know what it is. It's usually female related. It's usually how they treat their females, but I don't know. So round 18, October 6th through 8th, Qatar. Round 19th. So anyway, this year, this schedule that I'm going over right now, they're going to race in the United States 3 times this year. This year is brand new. Last year, we raced in 2 races in the United States. Before that, we used to race in 1. And like 15 years ago, we didn't go to the United States at all. They hate America. They hate America. They all are about Europe and European and blah, 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 blah. But an American company bought F1. So we're trying to make it a little more Americanized. But it's still not. I mean, they had to start hiring English people, Great Britain people, because they couldn't quite figure it out. So, anyway, they're Americans, but they have other people on their team. So anyway, so this is now the second United States race. So round 19, October 20th through 22nd, that's in Austin, Texas. I would love to go to that. I went last year. No. I went to Austin, Texas twice for 2 other series, including NASCAR. But I don't think I went for Formula One. Anyway, round 20, October 27th to 29th, it's Mexico. It's in Mexico City. Flights are pretty inexpensive. Last year, when I couldn't afford going to Austin, which is the weekend before, or, I guess that's 7 days apart from each other. So I checked flights, and Mexico was cheaper. And I was like, holy shit. But I was going, I would have flown, so I wouldn't bring my cat, but I could probably force bring in my cat. But I probably wouldn't fly with my cat. Then I'd get in trouble. And I've mentioned before that I'd be thrown in jail and stuff. So someday I'll probably try to go to Mexico because it's so inexpensive. But, Mexico City is whatever, the largest city in the world. And it's, whatever it is, 32 million people or 27 million people, and when I go to these races, I don't mind at all staying at a $5, what's it called? A crack house. I don't mind at all staying at a crack hotel that, rents it per hour. I just want the least expensive place to go. So it could be kind of marginal. And, Mexico can be very unsafe. And then if my mouth gets in the way and I don't have my cat, I could definitely get in trouble. Anyway, round 21, November 3rd through 5th, Brazil, Sao Paulo. Anybody, if y'all happen to know, I didn't talk about past drivers, but one of them is called Senna. Ayrton Senna, and he's from Brazil. He's from Sao Paulo, so he is the most famous. Anyway, round 22, November 16th through 18th. This is the first time we've ever gone to Las Vegas. November 16th through 18th, we're going to Las Vegas. Woo-hoo! And then the last race of the year, which it's almost always Abu Dhabi, which is one of those challenging. As you can tell, there's 4 or 5 races in the Middle East, which is usually where the challenges are. So amongst other parts of the world. So round 23, November 24th through 26th, Abu Dhabi. So that's the schedule. I will survive. Yeah, don't go to a crack house out of the country, Joe. Oh my God. Yeah, but if it's $17 a night and then the others are $97 a night and I'm going to stay for 3 nights, yeah, I'm going to pay the $17 a night. I know, whatever. So I probably won't get there. So yeah, that was it. I'm glad Liza was going to survive. Whew. So let me see. So exit full and then remove from stream and stop screen. So, okay. So let me go back to what B Survivor says. I'll take a flavor of the schedule. Was that a flavor or did I spend too much time on it? I think that was a good flavor. I think I did that. Yeah, don't go to a crack hotel out of the country, Joe. Oh my God. I guess crack doesn't exist anymore. All right, I'm sure crack still exists, but I think the fentanyl and all that stuff is taken over and it's cheaper and it's more addictive and it's more deadly and blah, 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 blah. So I think crack sounds like a terrible idea. Well, we can hope. I mean, there's a lot of hopes we can have. The biggest hope, which I don't think I'll be successful at this, the biggest hope is I stop going to motorsports events. That's the biggest hope, that I just stop going because I push it to the limit. The next is I have partners and sponsors that get me to the 3 United States races. Miami is pretty obtainable. I can usually go without too much sponsorship, but it's risky to get into the race. Austin, I cannot go without sponsorship. Las Vegas, I definitely can't go without sponsorship because I want to drive. I need to drive. I get the cat to go when I drive. And, it's $900, maybe just a weed hotel. Okay, B, I'll think about you when I make reservations. But so Austin, Texas, anyway, when gas is $800, you say, what the F, Joe? Why don't you fly? And if y'all can't tell yet, everything in my life is hard. I have a lot of trials and tribulations with everything. I think I make things hard, but things are hard. So I'm like, well, I can't fly because I have to bring the cat. Well, I could make the cat go and push the ADA and get my cat on the plane and stuff. And then I'm like, no, I can't do that. Now, I think I just heard a Discord noise, but the number didn't go up. So I should probably go over there and see what's there. So anyway, same thing with Las Vegas. It's even further. It's $900. Idaho was $800 worth of gas. So Las Vegas is probably the same distance or a little further. So that's probably $900. Plus gas, I think, is going up. I'm not sure what. I know that's politics. I hate to talk about gas, but I think it's going up. I don't know what it is. So anyway, that would be, again, first prayer is I stop going to races. Second prayer, I get sponsorship to the 3 American races. If I go to the 3 American races, I will have almost zero desire to go to Mexico, unless, of course, someone offers it. They say, hey, we'd love to bring you in. We'd love to get you, which hardly ever happens. So I don't have to worry about it. But when it's $700 worth of gas to Austin and it's a $225 flight, I'm like, holy fuck, so it was enticing for sure. But everything in my life is hard. I traumatize over everything. That's not the right word. And I know I say I'm a victim, which I do truly believe I am a victim, but it's just everything's hard. I can't just say, oh yeah, let's go to Las Vegas. And then, I don't have any money. And then I'm buying these things that require money. It's just challenging. So anyway, I will probably remember UB and probably, I will have you at the front of my mind when I'm going to Mexico, and I won't stay at the crack hotel, but I bet it might be rented by the hour. There's red light districts everywhere, certainly at the weed hotel too. So anyway, again, if something, if I become Mr. Beast and I have 175 million subscribers and I'm making $1 billion, then I'll start flying and making my cat go and renting a car and having hotels and have all those things. But without those things, it's all really challenging. So anyway, whatever. So yeah, this week, I guess all my weeks are going to be pretty hectic, especially if I continue this. I don't, I hope, I'm not a great follow-upper, and I'm not a great, what do they say? It takes 21 days to make a habit. It's, this may not continue, but if it were to continue, most weekends, most of the activities, the busiest day is Sunday, second busiest is Saturday, the third busiest is Friday. So it's usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it can be other days too. But so most weeks or most weekends is pretty hectic. I think what's making this week especially busy, it's one of the first, and it's the first where I have to multitask and put all this stuff together. But it is the first Formula One race, which is, that's 5 events and blah, 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 and time changes and all that stuff. And then NASCAR has the top 3 series, which is fairly common. I went over the schedule. Let me see if I can. So now I'm off screen. Sorry about that. So I'm going to get the schedule. Okay, let's see, schedule. And I'll try to do it. So I'm back. So present, share screen, share screen. Okay, so this is, and we've looked at this a couple of times, and I think I went through half of it. So I didn't go through all of it, but I want to kind of look at an overview of it. So let me, so full screen laid out, and then I'm going to go off screen so I can read it. So anyway, Clash of the Coliseum is, that's preseason, and the duel at Daytona and Daytona 500 and Daytona and Daytona. That's all 3 series. So there's the 3 series. So NASCAR Cup Series to the left, the white one is the top series, and then NASCAR Xfinity Series is the second one, and NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is the third one. So NASCAR has many series, but these are their top 3. So if you just look at Daytona, the third line of Daytona 500 and then 2 Daytonas, you see there's an entry for all 3 series. So Daytona had all 3 series plus more. They had 4 plus 1 more, so they had 5 series. So anyway, Auto Club, which was this past weekend, there's only 2. See how it's just the first and second column? And in this Las Vegas, which is this weekend, has the 3. And then Phoenix is 2, Atlanta's 3, Coda 3, Richmond 2. See, Texas is a different city. So Bristol is 2, Martinsville 3, Talladega 2, Dover 2, Kansas 2, Darlington 3, North Wilkesboro 2, Charlotte 3, WWTR 2, Portland 1. And then when it gets to summer there, it kind of starts doing weird things. But Sonoma right there is 2. Then I guess that's a week off. That's probably our only week off. And then Nashville is 3. Chicago Street Race. This is an inaugural race. It's the first time that they're going to be racing in downtown Chicago on the streets. Should be pretty wild. I wanted to go. I'm I don't know if I'll go. Whatever. I hope to go. So Chicago Street Race is 2, Atlanta 2. See, Mid-Ohio is a different city. So Atlanta 2, Mid-Ohio is 1, New Hampshire's 2, Pocono 3, Richmond 2, with Road America being a different city, Michigan 2, Indianapolis. Anyway, I probably didn't need to go through that. So probably about half the time, maybe there's 3 series, and about half the time there's 2 series. Maybe that's the way to summarize that. So anyway, this weekend there's 3. So that's going on. And then IndyCar, which snuck up on me. I knew it was the 5th, but I didn't. February always sneaks up on me, especially when it's not a leap year. It's February, February 26th, 27th, 28th, and boom, another month. And, with even February 29th, it still sneaks up on me. But this really snuck up on me. So I knew it was March 5th, but I didn't realize March 5th was so soon. So IndyCar. So anyway, that's why this weekend is so crazy. And then plus, if I add these personal responsibility and Murdaugh, I think Murdaugh should be over. I don't know if Liza Bell is still out there, but I think Murdaugh is, Wednesday is supposed to be the last day. And I am a firm believer, the Pootlian or whatever his name is, got a little snippy today. The defense, the prosecutor said it might be a day or so. And Poot said, well, he usually is off on days. So why don't we say a day and a half? And so anyway, Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, May 5th. Yeah, I guess that's this race day. Golly. Holy shit. When's Ash Wednesday? Did we already have that? I thought Ash Wednesday was like right before it. I guess Ash Wednesday was last Wednesday. I thought it was this one. Anyway, whatever. So I'm off the screen. Oh, little exit full. Nope, not that. Let's see here. Exit full screen and then remove from stream and then stop screen. So anyway, I'm sure I was saying something, but so anyway, no matter, yes, it was the 22nd. Well, it's a Wednesday. So if today's Monday, a week ago would be 21st, so 22nd. So 23rd. Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, man, that came by quick. I'm a recovering Catholic, so I guess I used to know those things, but not recently and stuff. So last week, yeah. So cool. So no matter when someone tells me that the Murdaugh case is going to be done, I don't believe them. And then I don't even know what it means. When they say, oh, when is the defense going to rest or whatever? And I think resting means you stopped. But I think it's possible. I think it's possible. And I don't know. I don't want to put my neck out there because could be off by a week. But I think it's possible that Wednesday would be the last day that they talk to people. Again, I don't know the process. I don't know if they have to go see Motel, by the way. Yeah, so when they rest, during some time, the judge said they're going to go see Motel. I think when they stop talking to people, then they go to Motel. So there's always delays and things. So anyway, so when they stop talking to people, then they sit Motel. I don't know if that's when the judge says, okay, now y'all go and get pizza and get beverages of drink and y'all talk and decide. I don't know if that starts immediately, and that can be an hour or a day or 4 days or a week and a half or, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I guess this stuff could be, I don't know, coming kind of close to the end. Now, I'm not real hopeful. I know Liza Bell. Liza Bell, are you still around? She and I talked a while, and she asked my opinion, and I gave my opinion, and then she gave me her informed opinion. I didn't watch, I watched 0 of the first 10, 12, 15 days. And then I watched an hour or 2 or 3 for the next week or so. And then the last week or week and a half, I've watched every single minute or, most of it. So I'm catching up, but I'm not, Liza has seen everything. So I would be like, well, I don't think anybody cared about if there was a killer on the loose. And she was like, yes, when he called 911, he said, I'm going to go get a gun, So, which I think the guns were real handy to him because they're right there. But, so, what do we got over there? Where's the, oh, there it is. Wow. There's a live stream going on with 85 people watching. I wish I had 85 people, but they normally have 300 people. So things are changing. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. So anyway, so like I said, I didn't really know, which by the way, I don't know if I guess I have to be more anyway, I'm still learning about Discord, and some people have warned me to be more protective of Discord and stuff, but I mean, there's built-in, there's always things that you can do if anyway, with that kind of introduction. But anyway, Brown Bear Jamboree, I don't know if you're still around, but I probably don't know at this moment how to get an invite of my Discord to you, but I probably could figure out how to get a Discord invite to you, and then you could be invited. It's my disc, it's my, so it's intimate. It'll be Survivor and Liza and Sifa and, but, which can be good. But anyway, I don't think, Liza, do you know where the invites are? Like I'm off screen now. I clicked on Discord, and I know there is somewhere that I can get that link so I can invite people. I just don't know where it is. So friends, online, all, pending, add friend. I'm still off screen. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm back on screen. So anyway, I know Sifa knows how to invite people. I'm off screen again. So it's Sifa or whoever's doing the invite, and whoever we're inviting can come to my backstage, and then you can get it in a private chat. And it worked. We have tried that, and it worked for a couple people. So anywho, I think I'm petering out. The personal responsibility I didn't talk about enough, which is probably good. And the Discord being kicked off, well, I didn't talk about that much, which is probably pretty good too. Murdaugh, I don't know. I mean, it's and I also feel like I'm an addict. Like tonight, I want to get ready for this week. So everything's mostly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then, there's 10 streams. So there's a ton of things to do. But I started jonesing. I was like, no, I have to go live. I have to go live. And, as I say often, the AA, I've learned a lot from AA, but, and nothing in my head's original, but they have the when you're new to AA or you're still drinking and stuff, a common way to describe people, and it's not mine, it's not original. They describe it as restless, irritable, and discontented. And then when you get in, when you stop using drinking and other drugs and you get into recovery and you start doing the 12 steps, it's usually called happy, joyous, and free. And, it's not all the time, 100% of the time. Anyway, I certainly felt restless. What is it? Restless, discontented, and what is it? I just said it. Anyway, whatever I just said is the way I felt earlier tonight. So I'm like, no, I have to go live. And I'm like, no, I'm going to say things that I'll regret, which I don't think I've said anything too much to regret yet. But anyway, I think I'm petering out. I think I'm, the more I talk about this motorsport schedule, I'm like, holy shit, I really have to. Oh, plus the TikTok. I mean, I want to. Restless, irritable, and discontented. Thank you. Restless, irritable, and discontented. Yes, thank you. So, and those are real terms. Like I said, it's not original. I didn't come up with that. They came up with it, but they know us. I'm like, yes, that's a perfect description of me. So, and it was. I was like, I found out when other people were going live and I was leaning toward being around at the same time they were going live. And I'm like, Joe, what the F are you doing? No problem. Thank you. So, did Liza go to bed? Oh, I hope I didn't make Dr. Jekyll come out too much. 12:13, so 23 minutes ago. Anyway, so I'm guessing B Survivor, I didn't hear Brown Bear Jamboree respond, but I assume you probably don't know how to invite people into Discord. Now, I think I discovered, when Sifa did it, I was like, wow, how did you do that? How did you do that? And then as I started reading about mods and stuff like that, I guess there are a couple things that everybody in the group can do. And currently it's still set up that everybody in the group can invite people. So I was like, oh, that's how he did it. So we all can invite people, but so you don't. And like I said before, and I haven't done this since I've said this, but I do know I have, I think more than once, I think I've done it twice. When I'm not streaming and I'm exploring Discord and I'm running around, I'm pretty certain, twice it said to invite someone to your Discord, and I'd click on it. It says, please save the link, and then click on it. And I'm like, wow, that's how you do it. And then, so anyway, I don't, when I'm streaming, I'm too stressed out. I could never find it, even if it was right in front of me. But when I'm not streaming, I have to go find that again. And so I'm off stream again. I think it's the most awkward. Let me do a full screen. Yeah, that doesn't help. I think it's the most awkward interface. I think the interface is very awkward, but that's me. I think it's just it's clunky or awkward. I would say the word's awkward. But anyway, but when I figure it out off camera or off streaming, then I'm like, fuck, how can I get their message? I don't have everybody's email and phone number and text and tweet, and I don't have I want to impulsively just get in touch with someone. I'm like, but I can't. I don't have all that stuff. So anyway, I'm sure Brown Bear will come back and I will have it ready to offer to her. And I know I have to be kind of guarded, but I don't want to be too guarded. I mean, there's I'm intelligent. I have a brain. I make my own decisions. I have people that I want to invite, and there's people I don't want to invite. We're all adults. We can make our own decisions. But, you know, I don't want to have to be super careful. I mean, just that you can take care of it later. If it was a mistake, if you weren't supposed to bring someone on board for whatever reason, they wanted to talk about that I wore women's underwear or whatever they want to tell people about me about. Oh no. So, by the way, B Survivor, I think I told you this before, but YouTube, I was talking about NASCAR 2 or 3 or 4 nights ago, and I got kind of pissed and vocal about it, and I flipped the bird off. And I'm sure you've seen it now. I told you a day or 2 or 3 ago that this happened, and I think you said, "Oh, I didn't see that," or something. But I'm sure you've seen it by now. But somehow YouTube can scan my 4-hour video and pick the worst things to put up as the thumbnail. So they have me flipping off the camera, quite animated. And, it doesn't say why I'm flipping off the camera. But it had, what's the other thing? Sorry for clicking that pen. You did see it. Isn't that wild? I mean, I got this distorted face and I'm halfway. And I mean, it's crazy. But also, I think last night, anyway, real recently, I stand up and I don't do laundry every single day, and I'm not 120 pounds anymore. And so anyway, I stood up and I have this shirt and I have a stomach, and so they put my stomach as the thumbnail. I'm like, do you have to do that? Do you really have to pick the worst things? I mean, and I don't want them to pick nothing. You don't want it to be, like I think my thumbnail starts with me but it's not me now. It's me 4 years. I don't know where that picture came from. And it's not really a thumbnail. It's what they use because I don't provide thumbnails. I still want to learn how to do thumbnails, but it's me just staring at the camera. So that's what it starts at. But after my stream, I'm sure it's AI. They're not going to watch 4-hour video, but somehow AI can pick out the worst things in the fucking place. So I just saw you flipping the bird. It made me laugh. Yeah, man. Now, but you were there, right? I just saw you flipping the bird. It made you laugh. But you were in the live stream, right? You were there when I was screaming about NASCAR, right? And as I always say, I've been accused of being funny. And I think I can be funny, but I think most comedians that I think are funny, they're always telling the truth. It's not funny things. It's what really happens. And that's what's funny, so I was really screaming about NASCAR, but it wasn't a joke, but it was I think so. If not, you told me right after, and then I saw the thumbnail. Yeah, I might have just told you right. I think, whatever. I have snippets of memory of, which of my 3 main dudes and dudettes are there. And there's a snippet of my memory that says you were there. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. So, but anyway, yeah, I was just screaming. So anyway, it's weird. I want to learn how to do thumbnails, and Sifa in the past has offered to help me with thumbnails. And then when I was in Pennsylvania and I went to the courthouse, and I then ran into trouble, and I wasn't able to go to the courtroom for Brian Koberger. He edited my video, but then he also provided a perfect thumbnail, which included the cop that had the AK-47 and didn't smile and pointed the AK-47 at me as I left the place. And it's not as bad as it sounds, but it was humiliating to me. But anyway, that was the coolest thing in the world. And I was like, but how do I use this? What do I do with this, Sifa? And I don't think I've yet to use that, but I think it's somewhere. I think it's somewhere. And I'm like, that is so cool. That's the coolest thumbnail. Now, I don't want to use it. I mean, I want to get, ideally, which again, when I get off, I don't follow up. I'm not a good follow-upper. But I would love to get off a stream and find 3 thumbnails. I would like to do Invisible Disabilities thumbnail, Idaho 4 thumbnail, and Motorsports thumbnail. Now, Motorsports might want to be more specific. NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, IMSA, NHRA. It might be those. But yeah, man, boy, they got me. Woo, doggy. We can do stuff, as far as me flipping the camera off, and I know this isn't true, but this is the way my mind works. We can stream and then get in trouble with YouTube, but it seems like we could get YouTube in trouble. It seems like we would have rights and say, stop putting my picture of me flipping the people off. I was talking about NASCAR. Put it in context. Put it in context who I'm talking about, why it was said, was it a joke? Was it not a joke? And I don't like bullying and stuff. And so people bully and they go, oh, I was just joking. Can't you take a joke? So I know that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to say that, but it seems like we would have rights to that, which again, no, we're the streamers, we're putting this stuff out there, and YouTube is the policing, they're the ones who have the rules. So anyway, oh my goodness. So let's see, personal responsibility. I skirted the issue all night. Murdaugh, we didn't really even talk about it. I thought Liza was going to come on panel and talk about it, because she and I talked on, or not talked, she talks into her device and then it comes up as an audio file, and I talk into my device and it types it up as a text file. So it's different. I think we do the same thing on our device, but it's 2 different end results. So anyway, there was a lot of communicating about Murdaugh, and I know very little and she knows a lot. So anyway, I was like, yeah, let's have her up at, so anyway, if this Motorsports kicks off on Friday and Murdaugh is done Wednesday, which I would love to live, and like allegedly loves to be the first person to mention some. I'm the first person to mention that it was, a white Elantra, and I'm like, fuck you. Who cares, man? Who mentioned something first? But anyway, so but I guess we all feel that way. So it would be cool to have Eliza stream where she forecasts the result and then she's right, so, and, obviously if we have a panel and we have 4 people guess, convicted, guilty, not, acquitted or hung jury, I mean, we only need 3 people on the panel and we got all 3, and then we can say, see, one of us was right. But anyway, if it ends Wednesday and then they can deliberate for an hour or a day or a week, or, you never know when they get out. And I think usually the more controversial it is, the longer they take. And I think it's going to be a hung jury, but Liza had a ton of information. I think she was leaning toward acquittal, but anyway, it was fascinating. So anyway, we didn't talk much about that. Motorsports, be survivor. You use that word. I don't like you calling yourself, but you're like, hey, when are we going to talk about NASCAR? So we did. Now, also, I'm sorry. I must acknowledge what I've been doing the last 15 years with motorsports. For some, I'm OCD. I like to see everything. I like to see practices, qualifications, and the race. I like to see them all. Now, for some reason, and I don't know why this is true, but for some reason, 15 years ago or 16 years ago, when I first started getting involved, 2007, I think, what's that? 16 years ago. So when I first started getting involved, I felt that way right away, and I still feel this way millions of years later. But for some reason, I could care less who wins a race, and I could care less about the victory lane or whatever it's called, where the winner goes and gets the confetti. And, you know, so I would be at a racetrack and I'd be in the garage and I'd be in the media center and I could go everywhere and I could do anything. And I never cared about victory lane. So anyway, now yesterday's first race was pretty special in that Kyle Busch won. So I do remember Kyle Busch won, and I wouldn't mind talking about that and celebrating that. And I mean, he is the bad boy and everybody in the world hates Kyle Busch, but because of the situation and he got a new team and it's renewed, you know, supposedly there was multiple media people that said every single person cheered for Kyle Busch when he won. Every single person did, which is unheard of. He is the most hated person, or he used to be, and he would be booed by 85% of the crowd. And then that 10% would be going, we like him. We want him to win. So, anyway, so, you know, when you said, hey, when are we going to talk about NASCAR? I don't know if you meant about last week's results or this upcoming week, which I talked about this upcoming week. But yeah, for some reason, I don't usually care about who wins. And oh, dang. What about me not liking the winner or the Kyle Busch? Everybody cheered for Kyle Busch, or yeah. Anyway, so anyway, it's and most of the stuff I'm doing with motorsports is driven by my audience. You know, I mean, I'm talking about stuff and then someone has a question and then I might take too long to answer a question, but I want to, you know, talk about what you all talk about. So, or ask about. So, I can certainly talk about, and I opened it cheering Busch. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. You know, he's an old man and he was with a team for 15 years and his new owner wanted to beat the shit out of him and handed someone his watch and said, hold my watch while I beat up Kyle Busch. I mean, it's a success story for everybody. It's all around. But, and I'm sure that's temporary. Like, you know, I mean, he's not going to win next week. He might win next week. I mean, he can get on a run and win several races, but let's just say he wins 3 weeks from now and 7 weeks from now. I would imagine 3 weeks from now, 80% of the people will cheer for him. And if he wins 7 weeks from now, 40% of the crowd will cheer for him. So I think it will get back to people hating him. But for this race, everybody was like, damn it, he was screwed by Joe Gibbs Racing. He didn't get a contract. He got a new company and he effing won with supposedly inferior cars, you know, with inferior cars, he won. So, anyway, it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. So, oh my goodness. Okay. So I think I'm going to finish up here. I wish I knew. Oh, I will, tomorrow is Tuesday, right? So I hope to jump on the TikTok. I hope to do a 15-second TikTok about every event. I hope to do all those Formula Ones and NASCAR and IndyCar. I hope to do a 15-second TikTok for all of those. Immediately, you know, I don't know if I can do them all tomorrow. Probably not. But, and I, you know, again, 1 week from now, I might not have done any of them, but I really hope to. And same thing with same thing with Twitter. So when I finish all these, you know, I'm going to end this thing and then I'm going to check, you know, as I always do, the comments stay open because I check the 6 destinations. But when I get completely done, I'm going to go over to Twitter and see if I can live stream on the Twitter that didn't work tonight. And if I can, I'm going to go live. So my original plan pre-Idaho 4 and even during Idaho 4, my plan was to do TikTok, Twitter Live, and StreamYards for every event. Do those 3, one after another, after another, after another. With, you know, I'll probably get a lot more positive feedback from Twitter than I do from YouTube. Or, you know, I mean, the numbers is what I'm talking about. So not the warmth and the nice people that I have gotten to know and stuff. But so that's one thing I have to watch out is how I talk about my platforms, because it may sound like I don't appreciate some of the platforms and stuff, but it's I want to get an RV sometime. I want to get on the road. I want to live on the road, actually. I want to live in an RV for sure. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Me and Mr. Beast. If I get as big as Mr. Beast, I'm going to buy an RV and hit the road, me and the cat forever. With air conditioning, I'm going to have everything. Wi-Fi, air conditioning, a shower, everything and everything and everything and everything and everything and everything. Okay, I'm going on. I made 3 hours. That is amazing. I can't believe that. Not amazing like, wow, anyway, you know what I mean. I always like to explain everything. So anyway, thank you to Facebook profile. Thank you to Facebook page. Thank you for LinkedIn profile. Thank you to YouTube. No descriptor. Thank you to Twitch. No descriptor. F you, Twitter, Nask Heart Inc. You didn't work tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Joe Hart 901 on Twitter, because you did work tonight. And if I resolve this, I'll probably try to add a third Twitter so I can have all of them. Okie dokie, Joe. It's been fun. I hope you have a good night. Good night, Liza. Good night, Brown Bear. Amen. Thank you, Bee Survivor. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to Bee Survivor. Thank you to Liza. I know you always come back and we always communicate and stuff, but yeah, let's I guess we can't do the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde political thing, but it might be F1. So Eliza, who knows? Liza, maybe you can lean more toward NASCAR and IndyCar and stuff like that. I don't know. I think we can all get along. But okay. So as usual, I'm going to end this broadcast. I have to hit the button twice. After I do that, it'll circle, and stop. And then when it stops, the comments will be open for a while I check out the 6 or 7 streams. Shit, I didn't go any of them live. See, that's why I want to get back to panels. Because then when you're on the panel, I can go live and all on the other 7 streams and talk and say, look, that comments me as a viewer. And I'm not, it's weird what I just want to make sure it works, and I want to test it, and I want to, I'm not trying to show how super cool I am. Anyway, it's the way my mind works. I don't know if it's a good thing or everything. So anyway, okay. So I'm going to end broadcast. Thank you so much. Hopefully Discord. Anyway, in Discord, I posted the 2 upcoming streams on StreamYard. I would love to do that every week. I am positive I won't do that every week, but that was, I'll get back up on that panel. Don't you worry. Thanks, Bee Survivor. Cool. So, all right. So I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you. 3 hours at 1 in the morning. Did I start at 10 p.m.? 69 people watching a live stream. 69 people. I think she's pissed off a lot of people. That's not anybody. Don't know what happened. By the way, Pointer said she didn't. You heard that. Pointer said she did not leave my Discord. I just can't find her name. Anyway. All right. So thank you. God, it's 1 o'clock. I'm hungry. Why do I eat right before I go to bed? Maybe I'll drink, and then usually you're just thirsty and you're not hungry. Maybe I'll just drink a bunch of Gatorade. So, okay. So I will end broadcast in 3, 2, 1. And then I have to hit it again. So, and good night, Brown Bear. Thanks for all the Formula One questions and stuff. We'll try to figure out how to get you a Discord invite. If you want, whether we send you an invite or not, you don't have to accept or whatever. But yeah, we'll try to, I talked about that earlier. I don't know if you were still in the room when I was talking about that, but yeah, we can certainly get a Discord invite to you so you can get on my Discord and see how it works and talk to B Survivor and Liza and Sifa and see how it goes. Yeah, and like I said, I don't want to pressure people into thinking, oh, okay, if I'm going to be invited, I have to, you can do whatever you want. So, okay, we'll figure out how to do that. So I think, I don't know, I think I now have to hit broadcast again twice. I think it reset itself, but let me try it. So I'm going to hit Ed broadcast in 3, 2, 1. Yes, I did have to do it again. So now I'm going to hit it for a second time. So thank you, Brown Bear Jamboree. Thank you, B Survivor. Thank you, Liza. Thank you, Nightbot. You're a rock star. So end the broadcast.